Let's go right now to Ahmad with Patrick Ewing.
Back with that.
All right,
Old
thanks, Mark Patrick.
I just wanted to bring it back, man.
Wonderful one. Probably the best game of your entire career. In a situation like this, to be a superstar, you have to rise to the occasion. You did just that.
Oh, yeah, you know, we were running
birthday to the
place
big
for the
dog
jump
once
shot, and I
again.
told Coach, forget all that stuff. Give me the
So you
ball,
guys probably
and
looking
if
at
I'm
me
going to
like,
lose, let me
sing it
lose.
together.
The Knicks 95
want to give a shout
and
out
the
to you,
Pacers 90 to take the series.
Knicks family, what's poppin', man? What's good with you? Give a shout out to Pat Ewing one last time just because that's my man. I'm a big Pat Ewing fan. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but, you know, sometimes things happen. You know what I mean? Sometimes they happen. How you guys doing this evening? I'm not doing bad. I'm not going to say I'm doing great. And the only reason why I say that is because I went to the dentist today. And let me tell you, man, if you could have took a picture of the way the dentist had me, it was crazy. They had me all over the place. My mouth pulled all out in different directions, man. And, you know, it was a sight to be beholden. Trust me, it was a sight. But I made it through. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I got all kinds of stuff in my mouth. You might be able to hear it as I'm speaking to you, but, you know, we're going to do this regardless. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful day. If I wake up, it's a beautiful day. So anything else that I go through is just, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But when I left the dentist office, though, and what do I see when I leave the dentist office? As soon as I pick up my phone, I see Joakim Noah. On TMZ. And how is Joakim Noah on TMZ? Nude. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. You know, that's I don't know, that's uncalled for. I don't know what was going on with the dude's head. Maybe it was a dare. You know what I'm saying? But why? You know what I'm saying? For what? What's the reason? You know what I'm saying? What is the reason? If there's kids, if you got kids watching right now, cover their eyes. Okay? If you got kids watching, please cover their eyes, because I'm gonna show you in the event that you haven't seen it. I'm gonna show you what I saw when I came out the dentist today, and I was just like, "What is this?" As soon as I opened up Twitter, shout out to Javon, man. Noah stripping his $71 million well spent. Is it, man? I don't know. I'm not with it, man. Just, you know, this dude, you know, I guess it is what it is, man. But all I gotta say is why. You know what I'm saying? Cover up. You know, don't bring attention to yourself. If you got kids, I gave you a little bit of chance. I stalled for a second so that you can get a chance to cover your kids' eyes, but this is what I come out the dentist office to on TMZ Sports. Joakim Noah, smiling, happy. Look at him. Happy that he's doing this. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. And see, that brings into question a few things for me. You know, because one of the conversations that we've had as a group is that Joakim Noah could possibly be that veteran leader, you know, one of the veteran leaders in the locker room, right? That Joakim Noah could be, you know, one of that trifecta of leaders with Lance Thomas, Courtney Lee. That is not veteran leadership to me. You know what I mean? And people can say, "Oh, Sim, calm down, da 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 da," and most of you, I don't think you will. You know what I'm saying? If you want to see it again, cover your kids' eyes. This is Joakim Noah. One more time. In Venice Beach, I guess. Changing his clothes. Decides to change his clothes in public instead of finding a locker room, a bathroom, or sit in your car. He's standing next to a Porsche. Spent all the money for that Porsche. Change your clothes inside the Porsche instead of out in the street, out in the public. You know what I'm saying? But so what makes me question? I got questions about whether or not Joakim Noah is that guy who can be a veteran leader for us. Now, let's just a week ago, he was leading a peace rally, a peace march in Chicago. We'll take that all day. Right? We'll take that all day. I don't want to take this. I don't want to take that. I don't want that on the team. So with questions, now I have questions on whether or not, I had questions before on whether or not Joakim Noah can be that kind of a leader for us. Just based on the things that happened last year, and I know, he had issues with Jeff Hornacek and all that stuff. I get that. I understand that. But apparently between Joakim Noah and Jeff Hornacek, it became physical. There was an altercation. I don't know who pushed who or what, but I think if you're an adult, if you're a veteran leader, you understand that you don't disrespect anyone who's in a position of authority in a physical nature. I do get it. I do understand if they harm you or hit you or whatever it is, you're going to protect yourself. I get that. So, but I think for the most part, Joakim Noah knows, I'm not going to disrespect my coach in that manner. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to put my hands on. I don't. So maybe it was a pushing match. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I can't answer that question. But from right there is where I began to question his leadership abilities. And maybe it's the kind of thing with Joakim Noah. Maybe it was maybe it was a dare. I don't know. I can't answer the question. But maybe it's the kind of thing with Joakim Noah. I think back to Mike Tyson, right? I think back to Mike Tyson when he was with Cus D'Amato. Some of you may remember, some of you may not remember. Some of you may not be old enough to remember, but when Mike Tyson was with Cus D'Amato, he was a disciplined boxer. He had his life together, right? He had someone to lead him. He had a mentor. He had someone to be that conscious behind him. When Cus D'Amato passed away, Tyson was left fruitless, right? He didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to handle himself as a human being without Cus D'Amato as his mentor. Maybe Tom Thibodeau was that guy for Joakim Noah. I don't know. I'm just speaking off the top of the dome. You know what I mean? But maybe Tom Thibodeau was that guy because, we've seen what happened with Jeff Hornacek, and maybe he's had some issues with Tom Thibodeau, but I don't think it went that far. I don't know. I wasn't in the locker room, right? We see this going on. We've seen the pictures of him in the jungle, or maybe that's just Joakim, him out there in the jungle and things like that. We'll see what happens. But now I question whether or not Joakim Noah is an actual leader and can be a leader in our locker room. And I think I'm ready to just let him rock. For real. I think I'm ready to just let him go. I don't want to stretch him. Buy him out. I don't know. Get him off the team. That right there just kind of ruined it for me. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of ruined it for me. Like, I was willing to give him a chance. I was willing to let him prove that he can come in and give us something for that $17 million a year. And he can do something. Give him a chance to reclaim his career. But after seeing this, I'm just like, we don't need it around the young kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's clown behavior. That's clownish. That's real clownish, DJ Space Ghost. That's clownish. And we don't need that around the young kids. We want people who are going to be mature, which is the reason why I'm okay with Lance Thomas. Some of you guys are not, but Lance Thomas not out there flashing his ass and smiling about it all over TMZ. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm ready to let Joakim Noah rock. Go ahead, buy him out. The thing is, that may not be the smartest business move, I guess. That's the thing about it. So then I guess maybe you just banish him from the team or something. And the reason why it may not be the smartest business move to buy him out is because, let's just say in 2019, we are in the running to pick up one of these free agents or two free agents. And we are able to have max dollars. In order to do that, you may need to stretch Joakim Noah's contract. I'm not for stretching his contract because I don't want that burden for years to come. But if we're in the position to get a couple of max players or do something, then it may be necessary, and I'm willing to do it if it's for one of those type of reasons. So buying him out could end up hurting the team later on. It could. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe, if I'm right, and if we have anyone who knows the cap in the chat better than I do, let me know if I'm wrong. But I believe even when you buy him out, if you buy him out this year, it doesn't mean that you have free cap space in 2019. That still hits your books as if he was on your team. It's just that you bought him out so that he's gone and he's away from the team. But I believe it still hits your books, which is probably the reason that they have not bought him out yet. The only way that it will not hit your books is if you stretch him. So there's the dilemma. So, I don't know. We got to figure out something, because to me, that's not cool. I mean, it's not cool, especially we're a franchise that's trying to get rid of this buffoonery. We're trying to get rid of this perception that we're jokes throughout the league. And if you want to get rid of that perception, you simply cannot have stuff like this taking place. You can't. If you're trying to get rid of the perception that you're a clown throughout the league, you can't have your players doing stuff like this. And in my opinion, Scott Perry, Steve Mills, you need to do something. I think you need to do something. I don't know what you can do. I really don't. I don't know if it's within their power to do anything. But I'd like to see something happen. Something. You know what I'm saying? Something happen. I don't know if it's within their power. But if you are seriously trying to clean up the image of your organization, you know what I mean? Then you can't have stuff like this happen. And when it does happen, if it does happen, you got to stand up as an organization and set some standards. You know what I mean? You got to set some standards. if that's your goal, if that's your vision, to have the type of organization that people respect and to reclaim that respectability throughout the league, Scott Perry, Steve Mills, do something. And I'm waiting. I want to see what they do. I'll be disappointed if nothing happens. At least say something. You know what I mean? Yeah, do something. Because we can't have it. We can't have it. Joakim Noah was supposed to come in and he was supposed to come in a couple years back and be the gritty guy, the defensive anchor, and also help run that triangle offense. None of that worked out. None of it happened. Now he's being a buffoon, being an idiot. And I supported Joakim Noah. I'm not gonna lie, I supported him. But now he's doing stuff like this. And look, we have Enes Kanter. We have Mitchell Robinson. Now we signed and I spelled his name wrong, Vonleh. I might need to go in and fix that. I didn't mean to spell the brother's name wrong. But we got Noah Vonleh. That should be Vonleh. If I get a chance, I'm going to take care of it. But we got some guys in there. And maybe they're not going to be, maybe they're not all-stars or superstars or something like that. And maybe we're just, we're figuring out, how we're going to work those pieces together. We got Cornette as well. Right. And maybe we're figuring out how we're going to put those pieces together. So, Joakim Noah is definitely expendable. That's without a doubt. He is expendable. And we just don't need him. I would like to see him do something. I think we could use, if he does have toughness, if he still has toughness, we could use it because we're kind of soft. We're kind of a soft team. We don't have the bruisers that we might need. And I know some people say, well, maybe we don't need them because the league is a little bit different. Guys are playing on the perimeter. There's not that much banging down low. But I think every team needs an enforcer somewhere along the line. You need an enforcer. You got to have somebody that's going to step up to protect your KPs, protect your Kevin Knoxes. You know what I'm saying? We don't want them guys doing that kind of dirty work, especially KP. KP's fragile as it is. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want KP, trying to be the muscle man too. It's too fragile for that. We need KP to do some other things. We need KP to score. We need KP to get those weak side blocks. Right? We need KP to put pressure on the defense in other ways. Not be the Charles Oakley of the team or the Patrick Ewing of the team. Patrick Ewing was one of those guys. But he could do it. He had the heart to do it. He was built for it. You know what I'm saying? So, we need one. Joakim Noah's not it. All right. Joakim Noah's not the guy. So we got to do something. Kanter, maybe. You say maybe Kanter is the guy. I don't know that Kanter is the guy. I mean, my question about Kanter, I know Kanter, he talks a good game. He's got a little bit of the he's got a background, with everything that went on with his country and those type of things. That mean that, yeah, he's tough mentally. He's definitely tough mentally, right? Yeah, I changed Noah's name, so make sure we have it right. He's definitely tough mentally. But is he really, does anybody really fear Kanter though? You know what I'm saying? does anyone really fear when he's standing up and bumping his chest with LeBron, and doing those things? I don't think anybody fears Cantor. He's cool. Yeah, Cantor is cool, and I like Cantor. He's a cool dude. Sometimes I think he needs to chill out with social media. Just focus on getting his defense right. But I don't know. I don't think Cantor is that guy. He wants to be that guy. And you know what? I say this. If he wants to be that guy and he wants to act the part, I will take it. I will take it. Gary Dunbar, you said explain. Cantor is that dude. Well, I don't know if I can explain it any more than I've already explained it. I don't think, people around the league do not fear Cantor as a tough guy. So when he plays that role and he's bumping people's chest and he's getting in people's face, people kind of look at him like, yeah, okay. If that was Charles Oakley, if that was Anthony Mason, they look at them much differently than they look at Cantor. Right? And some of it with Cantor is just because, he has such a big mouth when it comes to social media and saying things like that. A real tough guy kind of moves in silence. Real tough guy they don't have to go out and puff up their chest every time. They don't have to go out and make comments on social media and do all those type of things because they know what the deal is. They know what's good. And other people already know what's good. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Like I said, if Cantor wants to, if that's what he wants to do, if he wants to do it, I let him do it. Maybe it spurs something on into the rest of the team. We'll see. But looking at our big man situation, again, we were talking about Joakim Noah, and I do not like what Joakim Noah did. I think that it deserves some sort of something from the New York Knicks. He's not our veteran big man. He's just not. So give me a call, 516-405-2247. Let's talk about Joakim Noah. And I want to hear what you think about it. I'm going to take a couple of calls and then I'm going to move on and we're going to talk about Noah. All right. You're on live with Nothing But Knicks. Who I'm speaking with?
How you doing, man? This is JJ from Brooklyn. How's it going, bro?
What's going on with you, man? I'm chilling. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I know you were just talking about Cantor. I love Cantor because he's so loyal to his teammates. He'll step to anybody. He did it to LeBron, Durant. He's just so loyal to his team.
Yeah, I get that. He is. He's definitely loyal to his team. You know what I'm saying? And I respect that 100% because you don't get that every place. You don't get that everywhere.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
There's people who just aren't loyal to their teams or loyal to. And look, you do have to respect the business side of it and understand that players are not always. Teams aren't going to be loyal to players. Players aren't going to be loyal to teams. Things like that. But he is the kind of guy who, let's not say loyal to his team. Let's say he's the kind of guy that is going to stand up for his guys no matter what. Yeah, exactly. Once he has a group with him, he's going to stand up for his guys. So I get that.
Yeah, when's the last guy we had that, especially, get in someone's place like LeBron and, rarely guys would just laugh when something happens. You actually had someone that, up for his teammate.
And, I get that. I'm with that, but do people really fear it? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. I just like that we have someone like that. I know he's not part of the future, I know his defense is terrible,
Well, as of right now, we might want to look and say he's not part of the future.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you never know. You never know.
You never know. KP and Mitchell Robinson looking good. It looks like we're set at the bigs. It looks like at least
Well, I mean, we named two guys. We don't know. We really don't know what Kornet is going to be. We don't know if he's.
Yeah,
I like Kornet. You know what I'm saying? But we don't know if Kornet is going to be a mainstay type of guy.
Yeah, I don't
that stays here. So you never know. You see.
Man.
Let's see how Enes Kanter performs this year. But
you think we could get anything for him at the deadline? You think or no?
I think well. If you're not trading Kanter for one of the big free agents that you want, or one of the free agents that you want, then it's a waste. To me, it's a waste to trade him at the deadline, because Kanter's contract expires in 2019.
Right.
He's making
use that to hopefully get someone.
Exactly. He's making $18 million this year.
I mean, we'll need a little more than that. We'll probably need like $10 million more, to get a star,
Right. You're going to need more than that, but you need that $18 million to come off the books in order to make a move in free agency. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you think we can? That's why. You think we can move a Lee or Hardaway to? If we can move one of them two, we can definitely get a max player.
I think we'll see. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I think we can. I think
we
either
could.
one of those guys could be moved.
Lee's gonna have 1 year after this one, so I think he's movable.
I think either one of those guys could be moved, but I don't think if it does happen, I don't think it'll happen until around the deadline.
Right, yeah.
Something like
Lee,
that.
I think he could be a piece on a playoff team, maybe like a 6'7" man or something.
I think he could. I think he could. And listen, something has to happen by the time we get to the start of the season. Something has to happen. So one of those guys.
I just want to see young guys. No offense to Lee and Kanter, but I just want, if we're gonna lose, I want to, I don't mind losing with the young kids that are growing together.
Yeah. All right, man. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. All right.
Thanks, bro.
Have a
Take
good
it
one.
Easy, man.
Peace, man. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we got some things to work out with our big man as well. We got some people, that's why we brought in Noah Vonleh, and we're going to talk about him in a minute. I want to get you guys' opinion of him. All right. We'll take one more call on this Joakim Noah situation. You're on live with Nothing But Knicks. Who am I speaking with?
Sam? This is Reg from Brooklyn.
What's going on, man? What's popping?
Nothing, man. Yo, I'm like this. Fizz ain't gonna be dealing with Noah after he deal with stuff with Marc Gasol. So they gonna be getting together and they gonna find a way to get Noah off the team. They ain't gonna want no controversy with Fizz on his first year after he had to go through stuff with Marc Gasol. And Noah ain't even no star like Marc Gasol.
Right.
So, me personally, they gonna get together and say, not our first year. I ain't dealing with this knucklehead nonsense. He started with one coach, and he can't keep clean the whole summer.
Mm-hmm.
So they not gonna play that. I don't see them keeping him. Now they probably gonna stretch him because it's probably too much of a hit just to straight out buy him out and cut him like a Carmelo, because he got 2 years instead of just one. But he ain't gonna be on the team next year.
See, I don't think
they're going to take their lumps no matter what. They're going to lose no matter what.
Right.
So they're going to lose with a knucklehead.
Right. And look, I don't think that they're going to stretch him right away. They wouldn't stretch him, September or something like that. If they're going to stretch him, it wouldn't be until next year. Right.
They're going to try to see if they get it. Hopefully, Minnesota's desperate enough to take him back with a second-round draft pick, and we get Butler. Maybe we can sneak someone, and they dumb enough to take it. We could do it. Maybe he go back with his godfather.
Man, I think the only way, and I'm not doing this at all, but I think the only way that you can move Joakim Noah is if you give up a first-round pick, and I'm not doing that at all. Not to move him. I'd rather take my lumps.
I think two twos and Timmy could do it.
You think what?
I don't think it has to. Two number twos and a Timmy could do it.
You think two number twos and Timmy? You think so? I mean,
if you give him, because remember, 2020, 2 is going to be like a 1. So basically, you give him a 2 like a 1 in 2020.
I mean, that could be. We'll see, man. We'll see. But yeah, I agree with you though. They're not going to
because
be
basically
dealing.
we stole a 1 with Mitch Robinson this year. We stole a 1.
Yeah. Yep.
So we give up that second two.
We definitely stole the one.
Get him off the damn team, and bring back, and we take Butler back, and we may not sign Butler in the year. We may not, but we just get him off the team, or get him away from the kids. You can tell he's in our head right now.
Yeah,
he's been out of basketball too long. He don't know what to do.
He's not in the right headspace, right? He's not in the right head. And I hear all this stuff about him. He's working out. He's in great shape. But I don't know. I just don't think he's in the right headspace. Hey, man, I thank you for the call.
I'm gonna get one thing, and I'm gonna be
all right.
You know what I equate him to? Because I'm a Knicks, Mets, and Jets fan.
Okay.
I equate Noah to Matt Harvey.
Okay.
He a knucklehead. He can't be in New York. Him in New York, he acts stupid.
I mean, but he's not even doing this stuff in New York. He's out in California.
But as soon as he came to New York, he started acting different.
Yeah.
So as soon as he came to New York, he started acting different.
It's those emotions, man, from wanting to perform for your hometown and you don't know how to handle it. Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, thanks a lot, sir, man.
All right. Appreciate the call, bro. Peace. Yeah, man. Yeah. Joakim Noah.
Firing.
Joakim Noah definitely, he disappointed me with his tenure here. I was excited to have him, because I always liked Joakim Noah in this game, even though he couldn't shoot. But he's definitely disappointed me, and now his behavior is throwing me for a loop. I want him gone. All right, so let's talk about Noah Vonleh. Let's get into it a little bit. Tony Crow, what's popping, man?
What's going on, Sam?
What's up with you?
I'm live.
Yeah, you live, bro.
I'm chilling. Yo, Black, it's time. Shout out to the chat.
For sure. So, yo, this one, I want you give me what you think about Joakim Noah, and then let's move on to Vonleh. I don't know if you've had a chance to look at him much.
Nah, I still haven't seen him. I might have to call back because I want to jump on the Joe Budden.
Okay, yeah. Call back when we when we jumping in on that.
Nah, we can go another though. Noah, I don't know what's up with that dude, man. Like I was just like you, like, you know what I mean, willing to give him a second chance and just see what he do. I mean, I feel like we gotta do that anyway. I'm not for stretching him until we know why we're doing it. We're not stretching him just to get rid of him.
Exactly.
I rather send him home like you know what I mean, like they did last year, or whatever the case.
Right.
I don't necessarily think that warrants him getting sent home. But if the police get involved, then that's a different story.
Yeah, and I don't know if the police are going to get involved with that. If it leads to something else,
then yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if the police will get involved with that. You know what I'm saying? But I'd give him something, a fine, something. There has to be a clause in his contract that he will not embarrass the organization, and he will represent the organization in the utmost respect, the utmost manner.
I mean, I agree.
Whatever.
I didn't even know it was Venice Beach. I thought it was Venice.
I think it's Cali.
So I was like, I thought it was like, you know what I mean, not even in the United States. So, but I mean, even still, like I said, if the police don't get involved, I'll just let it slide, let it go under the rug, have the talk. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what you're thinking. You can't be doing stuff like that. Just for the simple fact, like, I think we're in a tough situation, and stretching him is not the thing to do. I think the difference between a buyout and a stretch, if you buy him out, he's agreeing. Like, basically, if you buy him out, we're paying him whatever we agree for the buyout for that year. I don't think we're on the books for him the following year.
I think we are. Because if that was the case, people would buy out players on a regular. They would they would buy them out just so that they can free up that cap space. Because think about this.
People usually do buy them out, but they buy them out in their last year.
Right, but think about this.
If you have more than 1 year left, that the player's usually not going to want to give up the second year.
Right, but think about this. If I think buyouts would happen so frequently if they allowed you to free up that cap space for that year, because if that was the case, right, you could just say, hey, Tim Hardaway, we're going to pay you your whole contract. You can be a free agent and go, so that we can open up that money for this summer. Or Courtney Lee, we're going to pay you your whole contract. We're just going to buy it out, pay you your whole contract so we can have that money in 2019. You know what I'm saying? So I think it still is on your books. That's the reason why they have that stretch provision, so that you can lessen it on your books.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's on your books for the current year.
I think it's on your book. I think it's on the books for the rest of that contract.
I don't believe so, because that's why it's a negotiation. That's why the player could say, all right, I'll take this amount of money.
Right, but what I'm saying is, because think about this, right? It's not just paying the player the full salary. It's a negotiation of what I'm willing to take. Yeah. I get that,
and I'm leaving.
Yeah, I get that, but I think it's still I think the way that that they work it in the salary cap, even though you buy that player out, like this year, like Melo got bought out from the Hawks. The reason why they free up that cap space is because his contract was already going to be up. If that was the case, right?
Yeah, his contract is up after this season.
After this
That's
season,
what I'm saying.
But if he had another year,
2 years left, and agree for a buyout, let's say you owe $30 million, $15 million this year, and $15 million next year. You could agree for a buyout for $20 million.
Right. But
I don't think the team is going to be liable for the second year. They're only liable for the first year.
No, that money is still on the second year. That money is still on the second year. So, like, for example, let's just say, for example, we bought out Noah, right? Noah's contract ends in 2020, and we bought him out, and we said we're gonna give you. He agreed to take $12 million a year, right, for the buyout. We would pay him $12 million this year, and then we would pay him $12 million in 2020. It would still be on our books. He would go as a free agent, but it would still be on our books.
So we would free up the difference, the $4 million, because he's owed what, 17,
right? So you might free up. Yeah, you might free up the difference. You might free up the $4 million, but you still have to. But he's still on your books to the end of the contract. That's the reason why they got the stretch provision.
Well, I mean, being that it's a negotiation, I'm pretty sure the player can take all the money up front.
Yeah, but even if you take all the money up front,
almost like the opposite of, the opposite of a poison pill.
Yeah, but
if they take all the money up front, then we only owe them the difference the next year.
But if they take all the money up front, that contract is still considered on your books until the end of that, until that contract was supposed to end. The only way the
buyout has nothing to do with the salary cap, because that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the salary cap. You still if you buy them out, right, it lets them go. You get them away from the team, but they're still considered on your books until that contract was supposed to be over.
Like I'll give you an example. Like Melo got bought out, but they paid him his full salary. He didn't take any less money than he was owed. Right, but the reason, but the reason why would anybody ever do that? Like, that makes no sense for the Hawks.
Right. That's why a lot of teams don't do it unless they're in their last year. The reason why it makes sense for the Hawks is because they pay him. They were gonna have to pay him $28 million anyway, so they pay him all of his money so that he can be so that they get that money this summer. Because
the only thing they get is the roster slot.
They get the roster. They get the roster spot.
If they're liable to pay him, if the money that they took from his contract is on their salary cap this year, did they send a player? They send players too?
No, they get so like contract? if we bought out Tim Hardaway or if we bought out Joakim Noah right now, right? We would still if we bought him out, not stretch him. If we bought him out, his contract would still be on our books until 2020. So it would still count against our salary cap in 2020, but we would free up the roster spot.
So essentially, the only thing Atlanta did was free up a roster spot.
Well, yeah, basically they freed up a roster spot, but they're going to get $28 million in free agency money this year. Because Melo, even if Melo played for basically it was like this. Melo had a no trade clause, right? So Melo was going to get his money because all he would have had to say is, no, I'm not going to let you trade me. Basically, he was like, I'm not going to let you trade me unless I get all of my money. So Atlanta was willing to do that trade so that they could free up that money in this summer. But no, 2019.
Yeah. Okay.
2019.
What salary did they send over to
Well, they sent
OKC. That's what I'm asking you.
Yeah,
because if they just absorbed his contract, they had the money. So
no. They didn't just.
There's no incentive in taking Melo. If you
they didn't absorb his contract.
If you have the money this year, you have it next year.
They didn't just absorb his contract. They sent Dennis Schroeder and some other people.
Oh, okay. That's what I was asking. All right.
Yeah. They sent Dennis Schroeder and some other people over there.
And Schroeder's contract goes over past next year.
Schroeder's contract goes where? Goes over to OKC.
Yeah, but how long is it? It's past 2019, obviously.
Oh yeah, it's past 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was asking. That's where I was getting confused. Like, why would they do that if they had the money already? So they freed up the difference in between Melo's contract and Schroeder. Because Schroeder got what, like $11 million?
Schroeder was somewhere like $15 million. I think Schroeder is $15 million, and then the other people that they traded, equaled up to $28 million. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, well look, I'm gonna go over this Noah Vonleh, talk about him a little bit, and then call me back when we get to this Jimmy Butler and Joe Budden.
No doubt, yep.
All right.
Your blackest time.
All right, peace. Yeah, let's talk about Noah Vonleh a little bit, because I want to know what is he going to bring to the team. What is he going to? Is he going to be? I don't know. Is he going to be productive for us? I think he will. You know what I mean? Could be. I don't know if he's going to come in and vie for a starting position. You know what I mean? But let's just look at his stats just a little bit. We'll just take a quick gander at Noah Vonleh, and then we're gonna check out who's in the video chat. We got some people in the video chat. So Noah Vonleh, right, averaged 4.9 points last year, 5.8 rebounds per game. Shot 44% from the field. He can shoot 30% from three. That's not horrible. That's okay. Effective field goal percentage is 48.7%. I think you'd like to have more than that from a 6'10" power forward. 6'10" power forward. He should be playing a little bit closer to the basket, you would hope. So his field goal percentage maybe be a little bit higher. But per 36 minutes, let's see what he does per 36. Per 36 last year, it was 13 points, 13 rebounds a game per 36 minutes. Per 36 minutes, does it mean a whole heck of a lot? It's hard to say because, some players, they have diminishing returns, once they hit a certain minute level. Once they reach a certain level of minutes or a certain amount of minutes, then you start to get diminishing returns. So per 36, this averages it out, but it doesn't always mean that person is actually going to get those statistics if they play 36 minutes a game. But, that's not bad though. In Chicago, he was 13 points, 13 rebounds per 36 minutes. In Portland, he was 9 points, 12.6 rebounds per 36 minutes. That's not bad. You know, defensively, let's see where he's at defensively. Let's look at his on-off numbers. All right, on the court, his team's offensive rating is 104.4. The opposing team's offensive rating when he is on the floor is 105.8. Okay, not bad. Matter of fact, it's actually good because when he's off the floor, the opposing team's offensive rating is 107.1. So he's actually, you know, is actually a positive thing having him on the floor. But the opposing team's, his team's offensive rating is 110.6. So maybe he hurts a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. But he's a young player, young guy that could develop. You know, another one of those first round draft picks that Scott Perry, Steve Mills picked up, that they're going to try to reclaim. You know what I'm saying? Another one of those reclamation projects. You know, so, you know, we'll see. I don't know if he's really going, you know, I don't know. Well, you know, we'll have to see what he does. I don't know if he's going to get the kind of time that maybe some people expect. You know, I don't know what kind of work he's putting in the off season. What he averaged, 0.6 assists per game. He's not going to give you that high post passing that KO gave you. You know, is he going to replace KO's production? I've seen some people in the chat talking about him. Will he replace KO's production? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm saying, so we're going to check in with the video chat, see what the video chat has to say about some of these conversations we've been having. You know what I mean? So we're going to check in. I think I'm going to start off with Big Freezy. And, you know, see what Big Freezy is feeling about our pickups. But let me let a couple people into the chat. Right? And what I'm going to ask you guys to do, when you guys call in, when you guys video into the chat, you know what I'm saying, mute yourself. Okay? When you video in. That way, when I let you in, I don't get a bunch of sound come across and everything. All right? So, you know what? I'm going to start with Who's Mark, because Who's Mark got a fresh cut right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to start with Who's Mark, because he got the fresh cut. He's on here looking clean. Who's Mark is looking clean, so we're going to start with Who's Mark, man. That's what I'm talking about. Who's Mark? Hey, what's popping? Mark?
Yeah, what's going on, chat? What's going on, y'all?
What's up, man? Hey, just make sure, listen, make sure you talking to us and not to everybody else in the chat, because sometimes when you guys respond to them, we don't know what you're talking about. Not just you, I'm talking about everybody.
All right. Yo, time out. Man, listen, I know Joakim Noah did some off the wall shit today, but
watch your language, please.
My bad. I know he did some off the wall junk today. But man, that one, was he completely naked?
I mean, the picture that I seen, he wasn't complete. It wasn't completely naked. He was, you know.
Yeah, I'm talking. That's what.
It was enough. It was enough, though. It's enough.
That's what California does to people, man. It slows. It's slowly turn you into a weirdo. Like, I swear to God. Like, I advise people not to live in California. Like, that is a place that will turn you into a weirdo. You won't even realize you'll be turned into a weirdo. Like that, it was funny. It was funny watching that picture, but I just wanted to know if he was completely naked, because, man, it's gonna be hard getting rid of that contract.
We're not getting rid of it. We're not. You said it's gonna be hard to get rid of it. I just don't think we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we do. I don't think we get rid of it. It's too much to get rid of it. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all was talking about that contract buyout. You know what the contract buyout, if we bought out Noah, right? If we bought out Noah for whatever price we bought him at, that comes off our books even for next year.
No, it doesn't. It stays on our books. It stays on our books. Oh, Mark froze up on. Yeah.
I freeze up.
Oh, well, you were so still. Looked like you froze up. I guess you feeling your head. You're rubbing your head, man, because you got the clean cut. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. I thought you froze up.
Nah, because it's like he looked like he's trying to find his way, but
I don't know, man. I don't know. What you think about Noah Vonleh? I don't want to talk about Joakim Noah no more because
Noah Vonleh, well, he could play. Like I said, like players like him, he needs the opportunity, man. Everywhere he go, he never got the opportunity. He never had a coach that says, "Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to even." No, he's not trash.
Okay.
Bro. He's not trash.
Okay, but
he just haven't got the minutes.
Okay, but this is my question though.
Trash.
This is my question. All right, Mark just said, and I put him on mute so I can get a word in. You know what I'm saying? But this is my question, right? Do coaches, people say someone like Vonleh, however you say his name, they say he just hasn't gotten a chance. But coaches are gonna play their best players for the most part. Not all the time. Sometimes coaches are gonna, they don't want to play a rookie. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to play a rookie or do things like that. But for the most part, coaches are going to play the guys they're going to play the best players. So if Vonleh was one of the best players,
6 fouls a game, man.
He'd be playing.
6 fouls a game in defense, that's all I need.
If he was, he'd be playing. You know what I'm saying? He'd be playing. If that's how I take it. The coaches are going to play their players. They're not going to sit someone on the bench because they don't like the way they look. They're not going to sit somebody on the bench because, political stuff, maybe. That could happen. I could see that happening sometimes. But for the most part, man, players are going to play. Coaches are going to play players that they think is going to get it done. Especially if you're trying to win. Portland was trying to win. They're going to play players that they think is going to get it done. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that the kid can't do it. I don't know. I don't know too much about him. I don't know a whole lot about him besides the stats, and the stats could mean anything for the most part, right? You know what I'm saying? So, let's see what's up. Big Freezy, I'm coming to you next, man. I'm going to come to you next. And Big Freezy, what's popping, bro?
Hey, what's up, Sam?
I'm chilling, man. So,
hey,
what do you know about?
Let me say piece of the chat, man. What's up with everybody in the chat, man? I've been reading y'all comments, man. Y'all been on fire these last 2 shows, man. Y'all need to keep that up.
Yeah, the chat is always mean. Every guest that comes, every time I have a guest on the show, they talk to me afterwards. They're like, "Yo, your chat is off the chain."
You're right.
The chat is off the chain.
Right, it's passion, son.
Yeah,
you know how it is. It's passion.
So what do you think about Noah Vonleh?
All right.
How much you know about him?
Let me do something real quick. Hey, y'all in the chat, man. I can barely hear Sim, but I'm gonna ask y'all just to be quiet for a little bit, and then I'll do the same when y'all talk to Sim. Is that cool? All right.
There we go.
Hey, so Sim, this is how I feel about Vonleh, man. I think Vonleh is a young, bouncy athlete at power forward / center. And given the opportunity with decent coaching, I think that Fizz can bring some of that potential out. But as far as what he'll do for the long term, I'm not really optimistic. I'm basically in wait and see mode, like a lot of the fan base is with Emmanuel Mudiay.
Okay. All right. I mean, so basically, because he was a top 10 pick, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
right.
sir.
He's another top 10 pick.
GMs on draft night compared him to Chris Bosh.
Okay.
So, I mean, I like the fact that we have a young, athletic, bouncy big, because the last 2 years, guards would throw that lob, and our bigs would catch that ball and come down and pump fake. Yeah. But now that you have young, bouncy bigs, they can finish that ball when they catch it in the air. Yeah. And help to get more offense more freed up. So.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% because we were so unathletic last year until we got Troy Williams. right? And Troy Williams came in, and it was like, you know, we would see Troy Williams getting up and down the floor, and it was like, whoa, wait a minute. You know, but a lot of it is because we, especially when KP went out, we really had no athletes then.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Athletes.
We had no athletes.
We didn't have any right. But the thing with Vonleh and Cornette together, though, I think you'll probably see Enes Kanter's defense improve because Mark, hold on, Mark. So I think his defense will improve because he can foul now or risk foul without worrying about fouling out of the game and then having Kyle O'Quinn be the backup center for the whole fourth quarter.
Right.
I think he's got more opportunity to do more stuff at the rim, like contest, as opposed to last year when if he fouled out, who was you gonna run out there? Cornette or Kyle O'Quinn?
That's true.
But now you have a young Mitchell Robinson on the bench who eager to get in the game and block some shots and rebound. And now you have a Vonleh who's excellent rebounding per 36, you know, and protecting the rim.
Yep.
And the key to it all is this young cat Vonleh. No, this might be his last chance in the NBA because he already played for 2 teams and did nothing.
Yeah, we got a couple guys like that, Moutier, Vonleh, right? So you know that's motivation. And he was drafted what year?
Yes, sir. So,
what year was Vonleh drafted?
I think this is his 5th year. I think he was drafted in the Oladipo draft.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're a young athletic big and you hadn't stuck with somebody yet, and the teams that he played for was not, say, world beaters, because he played for Charlotte and he played for Portland, and now he's in New York.
Oh, so Chicago and Portland. Chicago and Portland.
Now,
I think it was Chicago and Portland.
No, he got drafted by Charlotte.
Did he? But last year he played for Chicago, I think.
Right,
half the year.
Portland traded him. Yeah, Portland traded him to Chicago.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, so that's my point. This is like 4 teams in like 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can't stick now, man, he gonna have to sell insurance.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah, he got to do something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Big Freezy, stay in the chat. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get to Rube, see what Rube is talking about. All right.
Right.
And you know, and we're gonna get around to everybody. Ruben, what's popping, man?
What's good with everybody? What's up with the chat? Hello, everybody in the chat. Yo, like the chat if you ain't already like the chat. Anybody that's chatting right now and not subscribed, y'all gotta subscribe to the chat.
100%, man. 100%.
Yo, Sim, do me a favor. I'm gonna drop some information on Noah Vonleh, but please let me know when I can talk about Frank. I got some Frank hate.
Okay, we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. We got the whole. We got this whole point guard breakdown
topic, and plus I want to talk about that Butler Button thing.
Yeah. We got the whole point guard breakdown. We really gonna hash it out. We've been talking about it. We gonna hash it out.
Hash it out, man. I'm sensitive right now.
Okay,
so
we're
gonna
hash that whole thing.
Man, look. I like the fact that we picked up a lottery pick, but Noah Vonleh is not an above the rim player like that. He's not going to blow anybody away at anything. All I had to do was watch him play. I watched him play in Portland as well. I didn't really watch him his first year where he got drafted. I can't remember where that was at, Charlotte or something. I don't know where he got drafted, but I know he was in Portland, and I didn't like him out there. He played out in Chicago last year, came off the bench. The Portis kid played way better than him, but he did bring tenacity to the court. I like that about Noah Vonleh. But that was all that he really brought to the court. You know, he wanted it, but I ain't see him go down and dunk on nobody, get mad at nobody, push him down. All I just saw him do was scream after he might have hit a 3-8 once in a while. Set a good pick here and there. So, look, with the Noah Vonleh love, I think that we're still in the same position we was before we got Noah Vonleh. We need a power forward that we can count on, period. I think that Freezy got a good point. We got a good amount of big man, which we were talking about on the chat before we pulled over. We got a good amount of big man to swing around, so nobody out there should feel like they can't play at they all because they got to be needed later on, especially in this Canada. My problem with that is what Mark Dagner had a baby about when you said that, Breezy, was the fact that Ennis Canada is not going to improve his defense. He's just not. He's going to be who he always been. I like him for always bringing what he brings to the table, but that's what he's going to bring to the table. And I ain't never – people in the chat was mad at him. I ain't mad at Ennis Canner. He ain't our problem. Noah Lance. So everybody in the chat who's down to Lance, don't down Lance. He ain't our problem. He might be the leadership we need since Noah can't do it. And I'm going to end it like this. I know you don't want to talk about Noah, but somebody in the chat said whoever said Noah might be that leadership or might come in and do some positive stuff for us next year, show his face. That was me. I still believe, I still hope that the picture of him with him naked and all that, I hate to see it. I hate that he went there. You know what I mean? We had our conversation about it in the chat. But my whole thing is I don't think that takes away from him being able to go out there and tell young kids how to bring it all when they get on the court and how to be safe, how to be healthy, how to play. That's
and see, look, I agree with you that it doesn't stop him from being able to teach these guys something about basketball. But in the long run, I think you got to have, to me, you can't separate it. You got to have some moral. You got to have some off the court leadership as well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, it's just one thing. It's just one thing. It doesn't mean that it's going to continue to happen. But I don't know. I look at what happened with Jeff Hornacek. I don't know whose fault it was, but part of it is going to appear. It's probably both of their faults. You know what I mean?
It is.
We'll see. I just look. Doesn't mean he has to be kicked off the team. Doesn't mean he has to be kicked off the team. I'm ready to let him rock. I wanted to see Joakim Noah do well, but this right here is kind of pushing me over the line. Like, whatever, man. I don't want nothing stupid around the young kids.
Here's our problem with that, Sim. There's nothing we can do. Literally, nobody's gonna take Joakim Noah unless we play him for 30 minutes and he looks like he's worth 20, so that way they could take that money to at least come off the books after next year. And they're not taking him this year, no matter what. He can play all year. Ain't nobody trading for taking Noah. But they might take him next year, knowing that they got 18 million coming off the books. But that might be somebody that that's got the flexibility.
Right? Nah, I agree. I agree. That is a problem.
I'm rather optimistic about Noah, just for the simple fact that we can't do nothing about it. The only player that we have to do something about, like I told you, Nate, is Tim Hardaway Jr. That contract is 3 years long. If we can get him off this year, that's the money that we can have to be able to sign who we need to sign this year.
Well,
Joakim Noah not going nowhere.
Nah, you're right.
Let's stop talking about what his money coming off. If we spread him, his money is on. It's just in a different way. No matter what, unless we trade him or let him come off the books, his money counts against us.
Right. Exactly. Right. Yeah. All right. We're gonna get one more person. Then we're gonna if you want to call in, you can call in 516-405-2246. We get the one more person in the video chat, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk a little bit about this Jimmy Butler and Joe Buddens. All right. Let me see. Ron Cleveland, man. What's popping, bro?
Man.
You in the house, Ron?
Hey, Sim, man. You shocked me tonight, man. That was shock value, man.
I shocked you.
Hitting with that video, man. I don't miss much because I be surfing a lot, man. Be trying to, stay up on our Knicks, man. When I saw that, I'm like, what is this fool doing, man? Is he trying up for Chip Dale? What's going on, man? I mean, hey, to me, he got to go. He got to go. If you're changing the culture, man, when you're changing the culture, you're trying to establish something new. You can't still have a bunch of foolishness. And I agree with you earlier, man. It's straight up buffoonery. Scott Mills and them boys, man. Perry, them boys they need to cut him right now. Don't even waste no more time. And I was one of the biggest advocates to keep the cat, man, because I felt like, okay, this dude, we know what went on with Jeff Hornacek, and I was like, okay, he got a clean slate. He got an opportunity. It's like you go into class, you get a new teacher, and this teacher coming in, and she's saying, okay, well, Ron, hey, we ain't worrying about what happened with the last teacher. You know what I mean? We gonna rock, and I got you. But this dude had a perfect opportunity, and he messed that up, man.
Yeah.
Up in the jungle with the animals. I mean, this dude's head is not right, man. He may have got a hold of some bad.
I mean, the jungle thing. You know, the jungle thing didn't really bother me. I mean,
it
that's
didn't bother me neither. But when you're in the jungle and you done took and dyed your goatee, and now you up there taking your clothes off in the middle of the street. Hey, they need to drug test that dude, man. He needs some mental health.
Let's see what's going on with him. Let's see what's going on.
The Vonleh situation, I wasn't impressed with that signing. I mean, we already got Lance Thomas, and I ain't got a problem with Lance coming back. I'm telling you that right now. Super professional. The guy is not going to do nothing to hurt the team. And I saw when he's out there trying to get them young cats together to play defense. Hey, I'm all in on Lance. I'm not looking for Lance to be no scorer. He's not. That kid played basketball the way you should play it. Know what you do well and don't try to do something extra. He ain't like Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway, IQ is probably below 50. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Dang, man.
Tim Hardaway playing like a street baller that's all up for himself. It ain't about the team. It's about my numbers. Let me get my numbers, and if we win, we win.
Y'all dudes is hard, man.
Y'all just happy if they lose, as long as he got his numbers.
Y'all guys are y'all rough, man. Were you saying his IQ or his basketball IQ?
His basketball IQ is probably below 50.
Okay. I'll okay.
100, it's probably below 50. It's below 50.
I was gonna say, man, you rough on the brother, man.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Hey, Sam, and let's be real, man. I keep hearing these people saying, well, you know what I mean? When you done played organized ball as long as you have, I always say this, man. The window is very short to change habits. When he has played as long as he's played, his daddy been in the league, he done been around the NBA again this long, he is what he is. He's not going to change. I guarantee you he ain't going to change. And I guarantee you, Fizz going to have him rocking that pine more than he going to be shooting out there playing, because the dude already told you ain't about the money. If you're the best player, you playing. If you're not the best player, you're not playing.
Yeah, I mean,
this year is not a make or break year. That's the beautiful thing. This is a rebuild year, so we scoring. Hey, I take any wins we get, but this is all about a rebuild. We trying to see who's gonna be there long term. This year is a wash. It's wash. Let's wash him up, get him up out of there.
All right. Hey, listen up, video chat. I'm gonna be back. I know you guys gonna be talking in the background with each other. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna take a couple of these calls, and I'm gonna move on to this. Move on to Jimmy Butler and Joe Budden's and talk about that a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go ahead and talk. But I'm gonna be back. All right, Rafi, Guillermo, y'all stay in the chat. I'm gonna be back with you.
Man, but hey, I done seen them pictures played out too much.
I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back with you. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute this out. And let's get going. So, well, look, I don't know a whole lot about Noah Vonleh, so I'm taking you guys' word for it. I'm hoping that he's somebody that'll be able to come in and produce. Looking at, from what I have seen in Portland, Chicago, I don't expect him to come in and be a world beater. I don't expect him to come in and all of a sudden, he's he's our starting power forward. I don't expect that at all. What I'm hoping is that we're able to help him to reclaim his career, and that he's hungry. You know what I'm saying? He's hungry to, he's hungry to reclaim his career. So that he's here to fight, for his career. Because like Big Freezy said, that man might be selling insurance. Nobody wants to buy insurance from a door-to-door salesman. So if that's the case, I mean, I guess he already made millions, but, he might be broke. So hopefully he's got that hunger to get his career back. Hopefully Moutier has that hunger to get his career back. All right? Hopefully Mario Hezonja. I'm not ready to say Mario Hezonja's career. Last year, maybe his career just started taking off maybe last year. But maybe hopefully he's hungry to prove that he was worth what he got picked 5th. You know, so hopefully he's hungry to prove that he was worth that 5th pick. You know what I mean? Nonetheless, I will say that I do like what Fizdale and the crew has done in terms of collecting former high draft picks with the intentions of trying to develop them or help them to develop, you know, to catch myself from what I was saying the other night. You know what I'm saying? You know, to help them develop and help them become what they reach their potential, you know, in hopes that, you know, one of them are, you know, they're a late bloomer and they reach their potential here in New York and they provide the Knicks exactly what we need. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to see what happens from there. You know, we're going to see if this, you know, if it comes to fruition. You know, one of these guys, you got Moutier that they're trying to reclaim. You got Vonleh and you got Mario Hezonja. I don't know if I put Hezonja in the reclamation project category right now, but Isaiah, what's popping, man?
What's popping, Sim? What's going on?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Yeah, I'm gonna let you comment on Noah Vonleh, and then we're gonna move on to Jimmy Butler and Joe Budden.
I was ready for the Joe Budden question, but yeah, Noah Vonleh. I mean, to me, not that much to say. He's fighting for his NBA career. I just needed to see him play defense, grab rebounds, bang bodies. You know, nothing too much, nothing too little. Just do your job, play your part, and get rebounds. And that's my big take on him. There's nothing really.
Have you seen him play?
As a long-term project, you know.
Have you seen him play?
Nah. I mean, nah. I looked up a couple YouTube videos. I looked up his draft comparisons. I think he was supposed to be like a defensive Chris Bosh when he was scouted in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be like a defensive Chris Bosh, pretty much. Got picked by the Bobcats. You know, honestly, I'll tell you the truth, Sam. And I feel bad for players. If the Bobcats or if Hornet picks you, I don't think you're gonna pan out really that much.
You said if the Hornets pick you, you don't think they're gonna.
Yo, but you know what crazy, Sam? I've noticed. Have you not noticed that? You know, I love Michael Jordan, but he's a horrible assessment of talent. He's just that's probably one of his. Besides being a horrible owner, he is a horrible assessment for talent. He literally drafts bust or mediocre players. I mean, besides Kemba Walker, he hasn't done anything. He's a very horrible draft owner, draft picker.
Yeah,
he's
horrible. You know, Jordan drafted Kwame Brown, right? First,
man, of course, man. Jordan has to own at least the 3 of the top 10 worst picks of all time. Yeah. He has to own at least 3 of them.
I might agree with you there. I just might agree with you with that.
Oh no! What you were saying? I was ready to jump on that Joe Budden. I know a lot of people ready to jump on that.
Yeah, I know. People don't want to be patient nowadays.
Oh no, take your time, brother. Listen, man, take your time.
People don't want to be patient nowadays, but we about to get into it, and I'm gonna play it for you right now. I know people want to talk about Jimmy Butler. They want to talk about Joe Budden's. If anyone out here is not familiar with Joe Budden is a rapper, hip hop artist, and he has a
just say you got served in what's that song he did? I forgot. Pump It Up. If nobody really,
yeah, he did Pump It Up. He was also in Love and Hip Hop back in the day. But you know, he has a podcast now, and he does a couple, you know, some other different shows, and you know, it's a very successful podcast, I must say. You know, but this is Joe Budden talking to Michael Rappaport. I'm not gonna show the video because I don't want to. You know, I don't need Joe Budden coming at me.
He's crazy. He'll chase you.
Joe Budden is wild. It's a wild dude. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden is a wild dude. I like Joe Budden, though. I like Joe Budden. You know, I like the music he did. I like the music that he was doing before Get Up. Oh, that's the name of the song, right?
Pump It Up.
Pump It Up. Yeah, I wasn't too crazy about Pump It Up. It was okay, but that wasn't the Joe Budden that I was listening to on the mixtapes before that album dropped. That's the Joe Budden that I wanted. You know what I mean? But anyway, this is Joe Budden and Michael Rappaport, and it's called The Pull Up, episode 8. And Joe Budden is, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Joe Budden comes after me. It might be good for the show. You never know. All right, but this is Joe Budden talking about Jimmy Butler.
Dope free agents.
I had a long talk with Jimmy Butler recently at Mark Wahlberg's house in Los Angeles.
Damn, you dropped all kind of names.
Yeah.
You're fucking with the big dogs. Mark Wahlberg and Jimmy Butler. Who else was there? Why didn't I get invited?
You're not there yet.
God damn, Joe.
You're not a big dog.
Fuck. Okay, so what was this conversation like?
Said a lot of interesting things about the Knicks, man. He did. Now, I don't know that the Knicks will be able to make any of the things that he talked about happen with the Courtney Lee contract and Tim Hardaway Jr. contract and the Joakim Noah contract. But if they do something with the three of them, we should be all right. We should be able to get 2 people. I'm not saying Jimmy Butler is one of those people, but we should get 2 people. They need to call the fucking Sacramento Kings ASAP and ship Tim Hardaway Jr. over there.
I don't think he's going away. I don't think he's going
anywhere.
anywhere.
The Sacramento Kings would take him. They want a young 2. And they're not worried about cap issues right now. They have all the space in the world.
Right.
That needs to happen. This is the first time as a Knicks fan that I'm just happy about the direction. I can understand it. I can see where it's going. I want them to tank this year, get the draft pick, sign the free agents.
They ain't tanking.
Joe Budden.
I mean, they're not.
Joe
they
Budden.
have no choice.
Stop it right there. Joe Budden is a tankster wankster. I'm disappointed in that. Right? Because Joe Budden is a tankster wankster. And my man Tony Crow let him know on Twitter too that he's a tankster wankster. And I'm gonna let him know too. He ain't gonna respond, but I'm gonna let him know he's a tankster wankster, man. Get out of here, Joe Budden. But anyway, Isaiah, before I let you rock, what you think about?
I get the first crack at it,
man? You got the first crack at it, bro.
Oh man, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try to make this quick because I wanna jump on up here. But okay, one thing I'm really glad I see is Joe Budden's a real Knicks fan. He's pay attention to stuff, so he's up to date with a lot of it. So shout out to him for being a real Knicks fan.
Okay.
And this is I hope this is true, and I hope he's just not doing this to rile up Knicks fans. But if this is true, then now I think we start getting aggressive for next year. What I mean by that is, like Joe was saying, we all agree we need to talk to the Sacramento Kings. We should get if it's, I know I said about Jimmy Butler about paying him the max money, but if it's Jimmy Butler, because if we get Jimmy, then I almost 100% know we get Kyrie. And I'm not gonna lie, a starting lineup of Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, Kevin Knox, maybe Mitchell Robinson, Porzingis, that can do a lot of things.
That's tough. You can do some things with that. You can do some things.
When
with
I say that, that could do some things. So what I mean by that, I mean we trade Jimmy. I think we could get rid of Courtney Lee without doing something crazy. But what I would do, and a lot of people might not agree with this, not this year's draft pick, not this year's. I'm being clear, not this year's, but 2020 draft pick. And if we seriously we can really get Jimmy Butler, we trade that pick with Joakim Noah, get his off the books, and we get Jimmy. Not this year's draft pick. Before anybody try to kill me, next year's draft pick, 2020, we trade that pick with Joakim Noah. We get rid of all 3 of them, and we got it.
Well, it's always easier said than done because you got to find teams that want to make these trades with you.
Listen, right? I'm calling Michael Jordan and I'm calling Charlotte.
But listen. When a team and things get spread around the NBA, right? Backdoor channels, all that kind of stuff. When teams know, okay, the Knicks have an opportunity to sign Kyrie Irving and Jimmy Butler. In order to do that, they've got to get rid of Joakim Noah and they want to trade him, right? Guess what? They're going to hold you for ransom. They're going to say, no, I don't want 2020. I want 2019. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen that easy. I don't think. You know, obviously I'm not a general manager. I don't make those kind of moves. I think if it comes down to that, that's when you will see Noah get stretched. You know, that's when you would see him get stretched, because then, you know, if you're talking about 2019, the summer of 2019, then Noah has 1 year left, right? So then if you're stretching him, that's $18 million broken up over 5 years or whatever it is, right? That's a much less cap hit over those next 5 years, you know, that you're going to be dealing with in order to get the players that you want to get. If you talk about 18 million divided by 5, there's $4 million a year, $3.8 million a year, or something like that you're dealing with over the next 5 years. You know what I mean? So I think if it came down to that, that's when you would see Joakim Noah get stretched, right? So that they could free up that cap space, you know, to pick up one of these free agents, rather than trading them and giving up one of your first round draft picks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm you know, it's we'll see. But hey, I'm gonna get to I know some people.
Oh, you can add me on up here?
Yep. I'll let you in. I know some people want to get on this Joe Budden and Jimmy Butler thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, for what it's worth, I don't think that Joe Budden is just listen, I've listened to Joe Budden for a long time. And you know, from what I know with Joe Budden, he's not, you know, he's not just gonna say stuff. You know what I mean?
Not for real.
You know,
also, keep doing what you're doing with the little kids, man. Now it's beautiful.
Appreciate that.
If I was living around there, I would have definitely came out and supported you. Bring my little niece so she could play ball.
Yeah.
I would have definitely but you know, keep doing what you think. Please don't let Mark go first. Let everybody else go first, because I know Mark got a lot to say. But I'm gonna see you on that pit.
All right, that's what's up.
All right, man.
Peace. All right, let's see who we got here. I'm gonna get to Rafi. I'm gonna let Rafi jump in here right quick, because I know Rafi hasn't said anything. Hey, Rafi, man, what's popping, man?
What did you say, Ron? I couldn't hear you.
Hey, Rafi, you live, bro? You there, Rafi?
Oh, damn.
Yeah, you live, bro.
Yo, Sam, what you saying? You right?
What's going on, man?
Nothing. Just talking in the chat. I didn't. What are you talking about now?
Yeah, we're talking about this Jimmy Butler and
Joe Budden.
And Joe Budden.
I don't want Jimmy Butler coming. I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Okay.
If we're giving him, he's probably going to be wanting to get a max. And if he's wanting to get a max, then he's probably going to want it for maybe 3-4 years. And I can't trust. He's been playing with Tom Thibodeau, and he's been playing high minutes. So he might just get injured easily, and then it might ruin the rest of his career. So I don't trust that, or I don't want to even go near him. Plus, he's a locker room cancer. Every single team it goes to, there's always a problem. And if you come to the Knicks, I get with the media, that's just a bad mix. I can't trust it at all. So we just need to stay away from Jimmy Butler.
You're not the only one. There's a lot of people that don't want to deal with Jimmy Butler. You know, one, because of the alleged incidents he's had, not incidents, but, you know, issues that he's had dealing with younger players. You know, so there's a lot of people that just don't want to be around the young guys. That's really the biggest issue that I've seen about Jimmy Butler. Also, is that contract situation. I'm not sure if Jimmy Butler is a max guy. I really feel like, you know, to me, that max, people throw him out all the time, right? They're giving so many people max contracts, because they don't want to lose this guy or that guy. But those max contracts, to me, should be reserved for the creme de la creme, the cream of the crop. LeBron's, Kevin Durant's, Steph Curry's, right? Those are the guys, in my opinion, that should be getting those Russell Westbrooks. Those guys should be getting the max deals. You know what I'm saying? And then I think there should be, I don't know, there's got to be some criteria.
No, we don't. Yeah,
there's got to be some criteria for who gets max. You know what I'm saying? establish, and they got a new CBA coming up. Who knows? I don't know when it is, a couple years or whatever it is. But in that new CBA, I think they should establish some criteria on who and what is a max player, so that you're not just handing them out like fruit roll-ups.
Don't they already have that? Like if you make certain all-star, all NBA teams, then you're eligible for the extra money, right?
Yeah, like there's some extra money or something. There's something like the Supermax or something like that. The Supermax or something like that. But I mean, they throw out these max contracts. I guess a max contract is what you're. All right, let me back up. Maybe I guess the max contract. Now that you're talking about this, that Supermax or whatever. I guess the max contract is based on the number of years that you've been in the league. There's a maximum amount of money you can get and a minimum amount of money you get. Maybe I guess maybe that's where the max contract comes in, based on the number of years that you've been in the league.
And plus, I think it's on the certain team that if you're on the same team that drafted you, then you're gonna get that Steph Curry money.
Right. Right.
Kawhi, he just got traded obviously now to Toronto, so I think he lost.
But still, that max, like Jeremy is saying in the chat, max is synonymous with elite with the way we do it in the NBA. When someone says this person gets a max contract, they're saying that this player is an elite player. And I just feel like there's only a few players on NBA levels, on an NBA level. I feel like there's only a few players that's elite. Everyone can be elite.
What about Kyrie? Do you think he's on the upper echelon as well?
He is. As far as gameplay, I think he is. The injuries scare me, but as far as his game, I think he is.
Even because I watched the Joe Budden show as well. So a couple of weeks ago, he was talking about how he was talking to Jimmy Butler, and then he started talking about Kyrie. And I think that Kyrie, because I think he's got that type of ego. I think he wants to be the one. I think he wants to be the star on the team.
Who? Jimmy Butler?
No, Kyrie. Because I think if Kyrie's coming, then he's gonna try and convince Jimmy Butler as well. But then I feel like Kyrie is gonna go the same route that LeBron and Kevin Durant did, as in the 1+1. So would you be happy with that? And plus, do you think we could do what the 76ers did with Embiid, like give them restrictions? So say if you get injured, then you're not going to get that money.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you what. With Kyrie, I don't think we can. See, Embiid wasn't Joel Embiid when they gave him that type of a contract. He was Joel Embiid by name, but he wasn't the guy that we know of right now. With Kyrie, you can say, we want to put these restrictions and things in your contract. And Kyrie's team is going to say, you know what? I'll go over here then. Because there's going to be a team that will sign Kyrie that's not going to give him those restrictions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think you can do that with Kyrie.
Even if because I don't think, probably everyone would probably give him the max as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I was thinking if we give him short years and extra money with those restrictions, I'd be totally happy with that. But you're right, probably people would want to probably sign him easily anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Rafi, let me get to Nate Dogg, all right, and then I'm gonna get to Tony Crow, and then I'm gonna come down here, and then I'm gonna get to Guillermo. All right, Nate Dogg, you on next, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm chilling, man.
We just opened up a debate here, and I wanted your opinion on this.
All right.
Because people have been telling me that you're kind of the anti-KP. I know you're not, man, but it's just funny to say.
You know what? I'm gonna take it. If that's what it is, I'll take it. I'll be the anti-KP.
Well, I actually want your opinion here. I want your opinion. I want you to be honest with me. Is KP a max player?
Right now, as we speak, if he wasn't injured, I don't know if he's a max player.
He's a max player.
I don't know if he's a max player. I do not know if he's a max player.
He's 22 years old, Sims. He's a 7'3" guy. He can shoot the three, block the shots. I mean, Mark.
Okay.
Mark.
My question is, I know he's a 7'3" guy that can block shots off the ball.
How many players at that size?
What have you done to be a max player? That's my question with any player in the league, besides just the stats. Because Charles Smith came to the Knicks a long time ago, right? You remember way back in the day, Charles Smith came to the Knicks. He played with the Clippers, and he had the stats of an all-star. And what happened when he came to the Knicks? He was no longer that all-star. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying that they come to the Knicks and die?
No, I'm not saying they come to the Knicks and die. The Knicks were a championship caliber team. I'm saying he was playing on a team that was trash. Then when he went to a championship caliber team, he wasn't the same caliber of player.
Well, let me ask you.
And so with KP,
go ahead.
One second. With KP, I still need to see, can he come out and average 22, 6, and 2, 3 blocks on a championship contending team? But we don't know that.
He led the NBA in blocks before he got hurt.
I mean, that's cool, right? But can he do that on a championship caliber team? We don't know that.
Well, like I was telling the chat, Mark, stop talking. Like I was telling the chat that KP really has not had a squad around him to really justify if he's been yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This guy has shown flashes. Now, yes, does he need to get healthy? Absolutely, he does need to get healthy. And God, everybody in New York prays that he comes back, better than ever. But the thing is, you were having this debate. We were listening to your debate about the franchise player. What's a max player? I would argue that a max player is a franchise player, and KP is. Hold up, Ron. And KP right now, in my opinion, is closer to a franchise player than anybody else we have on the roster. Now, Knox is going to be special. I mean, he could be that in a couple of years, but look, we don't know. We don't know. And
you're right. He might be. He might be. Right now, you're right. Right now, he's the closest thing we have to a franchise player.
And that's why I justify saying giving the max money, because you should give max money to franchise players. In my opinion, that's in my a transcendent player and
okay. But this is the thing. This is where and people are gonna say I'm knocking KP and all this kind of stuff. I'm not. But this is my thing with it, right? You're saying you should give this money. You should give your franchise player max money, right? But if you're a team that's not very good, there are a lot of players that can come to your team and average 22 points. Right? Average 22 points and 6 rebounds and 2 blocks. There are players in the league that can come to your team and average that. I think you need to prove that when your team is in the midst of the playoffs. You're still doing that thing when you have several players that are very good and your team is in contention at least for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And your team is there every year. And you're still now, I'm not blaming the playoffs, not making the playoffs on KP. That's not what I'm doing, right? What I'm saying is when he gets up to another level, when we get up to another level, the team is, we're a perennial playoff team. Is he still going to be doing it? I hope so. I think maybe he can, but we don't know. He hasn't proven it.
It's going to take time. He's got to get healthy.
I know, but that's my thing. He hasn't proven it.
He's got to develop chemistry with his young. Mark, stop talking. He's got to develop chemistry with the young players. I mean, he's got to. There's a lot of ifs. I understand that, but I'm just saying he's 22 years old. I mean, you're talking. Stop talking, Mark. I'm trying to talk. And the truth is, I don't know how much weight he can gain because he's always going to be kind of like a beanpole. I mean, the one thing if you watch those KP videos of his recovery. They're trying to strengthen his core muscles because they want him to try to prevent any other injuries.
I mean, but he can get, even though he might always be thin, but I think he can still be strong. I think, even though he's thin, he can still be strong. You know what I mean?
And here's the thing. Here's the thing with me, Sim, on KP. Name me a 7'3" guy that can move like a giraffe and block shots like crazy. And he doesn't average a lot of rebounds. That really bothers me for somebody at 7'3". I mean, but he could run the court on his own. I mean, there's not a lot of 7'3" players that can do that. I think the one person that I think could possibly be close to him if he develops a shot is Bamba. Bamba actually really.
I just before I start putting KP as one of the top elite guys in the league, I want to see him do it on a playoff level. Listen, Russell Westbrook single-handedly carried his team to the playoffs by averaging a triple-double. Single-handedly put him on his back and carried them to the playoffs. That's max money. Clearly, that's max money.
So let me ask you this question: If you're meeting with Giannis and you're the GM, do you offer KP an extension, or what do you tell Giannis, his brother? Because obviously they want the money. There's no doubt. I mean, what do you do? I mean, you got a 22-year-old guy who's got a lot of potential, all the potential in the world. What do you do? Do you,
I think
do you let him test the market and go somewhere else?
I mean, one, they got to see what he does when he comes back. I don't think anything's really gonna happen until you see when he comes back how he's performing. You know what I'm saying?
You know the scary thing about it, Sims, what worries me is that we might not see KP all next year.
You might. I mean, we might not.
So then you really
it's possible.
Then you really have a cornerstone here with this franchise that if you don't see him for a whole season, do you give him that much money?
No,
and
I
hope
don't.
that he comes back to the KP of old?
I don't. I see what happened with Derrick Rose when he had knee prop. You know, when he tore his ACL and whatever. I don't give him that money, and I think that Porzingis and his brother would understand that.
So you,
of course they would try. Of course they would try. They would want to get
a deal with incentives,
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, of course, they would try. That's their job. That's what they should do. They would try to get that max money.
That would be interesting,
but
because that's a tough debate that I would love to be in that room to watch, because Giannis really wants to get money for his brother, and it kind of bothers me that his brother is his agent. I mean, that just kind of scares me within itself, because he has a lot of family ties to everything he does.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. Tony,
somebody's gonna pay this guy. There's no doubt in my mind. He's gonna get paid. Whether we sign him or not, somebody's gonna pay him in a heartbeat.
We'll see. But you guys, y'all took me off on a tangent.
Sorry.
And try to get me in trouble with the chat. You know what I mean? Try to get me in trouble with the chat.
I want to say one thing. I want to say one thing about the whole point guard debate.
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Not now. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Tony.
Yeah.
What you think about Joe Budden and Jimmy Butler?
Yeah, well, first off, that's not the first time he mentioned it.
Right.
He mentioned it on his podcast, maybe not last episode, maybe the episode before.
Uh-huh.
And pretty much said he wasn't gonna reveal anything he talked about. So I was super amped when when he was talking with Mike.
And he kind of let a little bit out.
It let a little bit out, yeah.
And
I follow him. I watch his podcast. I watch all his stuff. I keep trying to tell him to call in. So maybe he get on his radar now.
Maybe we get him in there. Yeah. We get him in there. Let me get on here and argue with that man for a little bit.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
He a real Knicks fan. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and look, the chat. The chat.
He suffered with all of us.
Yeah, I like to get Michael Rappaport's about to get my video probably in trouble anyway with advertisers from all the cursing he was doing just on that little video. But so the chat is already they're coming at me. Asking me
off the KP thing.
Off the KP thing. But we're not talking about KP. We talk about Jimmy Butler and Jimmy Butler. Joe Budden.
This is what I'm gonna say about Jimmy Butler. This is why I'm not mad if he's here.
Uh-huh.
I don't see a purpose. I think we definitely got to get rid of Tim Hardaway if Jimmy Butler's here. But he's a New York kind of guy, and probably more so than some of the other guys. Like if you look at his story getting into the NBA, and like he's a show and prove guy, like grind from the bottom. You know what I mean? Not a lottery pick. Like that's the kind of guy you really want on your team. Like he knows what it is to have to work his way up and not have a spotlight and just make the light turn to you. Like, oh, look what this guy's doing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
And honestly, like, if I had a choice, if I could pick two, and it's tough because I love both the other two guys, but I'd pick Kawhi Leonard and Jimmy Butler and rock on some 90s Knicks basketball.
That's some 90s Knicks basketball for you right there.
With Frank, like, and KP and then Knox and then Mitchell. Oh my, like that might outdo any other duo. I'm not even gonna name them names because I'm not trying to get killed either. but if you want to look at some 90s Knicks basketball that could win,
listen, I would love it. I would love it. You know, I question Kawhi's mental a little bit, but you know, but I mean, just talking about that style of basketball, I would love it.
I mean, I think he was just in a situation he wanted to get out of. That's the best way I could think of it for him. I don't think he's like the same questions you could say about Kawhi, you could actually say about Durant. You know, the difference is Durant is coming off back-to-back championships. So it's less of a question now. You know what I mean? But had Golden State not won one of these two or both of them, like, it'd be, you know how many question marks there'll be around Durant?
Well, I mean, yeah, so, I'm not talking about question marks. I'm talking question marks just, you know, the way things were down in San Antonio, and then, you know, some people reported that he may not play for Toronto, which if he did that, he'd be in trouble with his career. So I doubt that's going to happen.
Oh, He's playing. I agree with that 100%, but I don't believe that. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, his career, he'd be in trouble.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he would do that.
Yeah, he'd be in big trouble right there.
There's no coming back from that. Like, you won't even.
Right.
Yeah.
No coming back. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you see what happened with DeMarcus Cousins. You know, partly due to his injury, but partly due to, you know, teams. Well, I was watching something and what they say. Teams had a no DeMarcus Cousins rule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I forgot who said that.
Yeah,
I did see it.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, but I mean that was based off of. I mean, if you're looking at it like that, that was based off of like attitude.
Yeah,
where I don't,
right.
No, I think with Kawhi, it's really a question mark. I don't think nobody has a definitive stance of, like, I don't even think San Antonio has a stance. Like, I think they're more confused than anything else.
Yeah.
But if you look at it from just from the standpoint of if it was a misdiagnosis, and then you look at what happened with Isaiah Thomas, and you look at, like, if you look at it from that standpoint, I can't even be mad at him. Like, I can't even look at him.
I mean, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? If that was
better, absolutely.
If that was
I don't think he really mishandled anything by not being there.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the actual, issue, I get it. Hey, let me check in with the chat. Hey, Tony, I know some other people want to call in, so
I'm gonna knock on the pair in.
All right. Hi, peace. Guillermo, I know haven't heard from you yet, man. You've been patient.
Good. How you doing, brethren?
I'm chilling, man. I hope you had a lovely dinner. Everybody witnessed you cooking dinner tonight.
The salmon, man.
Salmon, okay. That's good. That's what's up.
So, I try to stay healthy, man. But two things, man. First and foremost, Enes Kanter, man, he got to work on his hips, man. Y'all young boys out there, man. That's how to play. Working on hips, man. It's annoying how awful these guys. He's doing all these workouts and stuff. Work your damn hips, man. Like, these guys, they can't move, they can't shuffle their feet. That's why all their balance is off when they're defending. That's one thing that I learned in basketball.
Okay.
But the thing with Joe Budden, man, and Michael Rappaport, man, look, these guys, they're what I call informed, but like misinformed players, right? Fans, right? They know what they're talking about to the extent of like, hey, we got to get rid of this contract, but then they fall into the fallacy of like, yo, we got to get this player and this player and this player. And it's like, first and foremost, New York is a tough place to play in, right? Only very few guys have the mentality and the skill to come in and succeed. We don't know what the hell Jimmy Butler is going to do. Like, this is a guy who shoots 40, I think, I always get this wrong. I think 37% three-point shooting, 40-something% low 40s field goal percentage. And a guy who's, let's be honest, has been somewhat of a malcontent. He tried to establish himself as a leader with the Bulls. That didn't work. He's become injury prone. He's going to be 30 by next year. Is that a guy you put your money into? No, I think Joe Budden's probably saying that because he's probably cool with them. And the thing about it is that I look at it this way, man. The Knicks, to me, we have the city that people should be wanting to come to. Everybody wants to go to LA because of the city, blah, blah. New York should be literally the brother to LA in terms of popularity. The thing that the Knicks don't have and that people are scared of is, one, we have bad ownership. But two, we also don't have good leadership in the coaching position, right? So what we're worried about is, look, we don't need a tank for next season. I'm not with the tanking crap, man. What we need to do is showcase the players that we think we need to get rid of, the Moutiers, which is going to be hard. Who's this other guy? Because, look, Moutier is not – look, he's a 6'5" point guard who can't finish or shoot threes. It's like, come on, man. Are you serious? And the thing I do like what the Knicks have done, though, which is smart, is that they're acquiring talent that you can do three things, right? You can build for the future, you can trade them off, or they can be let go easily. Outside of Noah, obviously, but that wasn't Fizdale's, what's his name? This kid, Vonleh, look, like the guy said, look, this is Vonleh, might be his last year. If he can show and prove, he can bang out, or he can be let go easily. Hazonia, improve on defense, shoot that three, improve the three-point shot, drive to the basket like he was doing his last year with the Magic. Trade him if we want to, or you be out. And that's how the Knicks got to be thinking. I don't like the fact that we put our eggs into a guy like Kevin Durant, who, let's be honest, this guy is getting punked by 17-year-olds on Instagram. 17-year-olds on Instagram. You think that's a guy who can survive in the world? Like, let's be serious. So the thing that Knicks need to do, like I keep saying over and over, establish a culture, establish a system so that you have the existing guys. They can flourish in that system or at least showcase some type of talent. And then you can look into, all right, look, we have these guys that we want to build for the future. We have this system. Let's look at the proper free agents that we need. I wish the Knicks had that mindset to think like that. That's what the Spurs do. That's what, well, the Warriors are at a crazy level. That's what the Warriors can do. That's what these top teams do. And the Knicks need to think at that level. Stop putting all your eggs in these stars to come and save New York. Because let's be honest, put it like this. If KD came to New York, if Kyrie came to New York, or if Jimmy Butler came to New York and they fail, Fizdale's going to be looking like a clown of a coach later on. He's screwed. But let's be honest. When Lionel Hollins established that system with why am I thinking of the Panthers? The Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, I'm sorry. When he established that system, the Grizzlies, people are like, wait, this guy had 50-something wins. Why does he have another job? Like, yeah. Then he got the job at the Nets, whatever. I mean, he didn't do that great at the Nets. But if you establish a system, like, look at Spoelstra. Spoelstra is good. If he left the Heat, people are going to be knocking his door like, hey, come and coach us. So, to me, establish a system. At the very worst, you get fired because you have an incompetent owner if you're winning with that system. To me, I don't like all that. And the last thing I'll say with KP is not a franchise player yet, man. I don't want to digress yet. KP is not a franchise player yet, man. A franchise player is Kawhi Leonard, who carried his team, who had the Warriors shaking in their boots in game one because they're up by 19 in the first quarter. But Zaza Pachulia, whatever that trash dude is called, he had to go and injure the dude to stop the bleeding. Franchise players, a Chris Paul type of player that when he was on the Pelicans, he took Tyson Chandler and a bunch of nobodies, and they were threatening. First, I understand they didn't win, but Chris Paul, he carried that team on his back, man. Even when he did the Rockets last year, if he didn't get hurt, that's a franchise player. KP's building up the cult of personality. We don't know how this guy can be a full season, but being a franchise, him and his brother could go and fool the Kings into giving them boatload of money to do whatever, and they could go to a 22 and some record, and they could, flounder. So to me, man, he ain't a franchise player yet. But thank you for taking my call. I'll be in the chat talking trash.
All right, no doubt. Thank you, Wilmo. You know what I'm saying? And look, Mark, I'm gonna get to you, man, because you're looking sad. I am gonna get to you, Mark, because you're looking sad. I know you want to say something. Mark, you listening?
I was 22 points.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark, you live, man. Go ahead.
What is he talking about?
What are you talking about? I'm waiting for you. You live, Mark. What's up?
He didn't do it by himself.
Mark ain't paying attention. Mark ain't paying attention. I'm gonna cut him off. So I'm gonna get to this caller. After this caller, we moving on to this point guard battle. You on live with Nothing But Knicks. Can you turn that down in the back, please?
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? You on live?
Hey, good night, Tim. How are you doing? This is JP calling again.
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good.
I'm doing well. Wow, it was a lot of stuff you guys talk about today. But I just want to call to congratulate you. I saw your video earlier with what you're planning to do with the kids. And
thank you. I appreciate it.
I just like to also I like to I like how your chat is growing and how you're branching out to different channels and stuff like that too. I like the video that you did with the entertainer and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you. We got another one coming too.
Yeah. As far as the basketball camp, I'm in the New York area too. So I mean, I obviously I would like to try to help out as much as I can, even if it's just like a financial donation. That'll be cool.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna put my email in the chat before I leave, so that people can hit me up if they want to help out next year with the camp.
Yeah, and just to talk about basketball, I just want to tell everybody to kind of slow their roll and just pretty much be paying attention to what it is the front office is saying. And I know it's good that we have all this attention to us as far as like who may come next year, but you basically just have to worry about what's going on in-house, worry about the players that you have on your staff, and try to see if you could develop them as much as possible and stuff of that nature. Because this sounds like 2010 all over again. I'm not buying none of it.
You know what? It really does.
Yeah, I'm trying not to, because it's like, and I've been a Knicks fan for 26 years, and I've been through with I'm not buying it. I don't think the front office is buying it either. As far as the whole situation with Noah, I mean, it's unfortunate that that he's gotten to this point in his career, considering what he's done early on in his career, but I'm quite sure that I have confidence that they'll be smart enough to do something with that contract. I mean, even if it means that they may have to wait. I think maybe what the best thing you may have to do is possibly you have a lot of expiring contracts, this year. So what I would do is pretty much, if I can, trade whatever I can and get a bunch of second-round draft picks and maybe attach those second-round draft picks to Noah. But I don't think that they'll just get rid of him. And I don't think they can have him sit there, because I don't think the Players Association will allow that to happen.
Yeah. You always
they wasn't too happy with him sitting there. And I don't know if they'll be able to pull that off again.
Yeah, you always got to take that into consideration.
One thing, as far as Frank's concerned, man, like I said, I've been Knicks fan for over 25 years, and I honestly think that your chat is like a tale of two Knicks fans. You have the old school Knicks fan, and you have the new school Knicks fan. The old school Knicks fan, we love the defense. Mm-hmm. That's. I mean, in the 70s, in the 90s, all of our success is the common denominator has been defense. So I don't know how you can take a look at a player like Frank and say, oh, he's trash. The dude's not trash. I mean, it's obvious to me that, like, I don't understand the hypocrisy where you're willing to have Mitchell, oh, he needs to develop, and Knox needs to develop, but you wouldn't give that same courtesy to Frank.
Thank you.
I don't understand. It's just a fair thing. I like, and to be honest with you, if you are a real Knicks fan, what you need and what you're hoping for and praying for is that the coaching staff allows this team to develop. Because if this team develops, that will change the narrative for this organization. Because we've always been known to, the Knicks, when we do draft, we don't develop. You always get that. Spurs has that reputation of developing players and stuff like that. So let them develop whoever they can, and let it rock, man. Just relax. And as far as Ruben's concerned, I'm not, I respect everybody's opinion, but that dude calls every show to complain about Frank. But he'll be the first one to complain, oh yeah, Knicks lost by 30, or Harden dropped 50 on us. You can't have it both ways, man. You gotta let these people rock. They literally babies.
You're right.
I couldn't tell you the last time the Knicks have had 3 first-round draft picks in it's never happened. It's never happened.
Mm-hmm.
You put Frank on the market, you'd be surprised how many teams would go after that guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Chris Middleton. Listen, you look at Milwaukee's team. Long, fast. That's where the NBA's, that's where they're heading to.
Yep. And that's what we're building. And that's what we're building. And Frank is the tipping point. Playing that point guard spot. He is the tipping. He's the start.
One last thing. So now I'm all for giving second chances. I mean, everyone deserves it, and no matter what capacity you're in life. But when I look at, let's say, Moutier and Trey Burke, when Trey Burke played in Utah, he was a starting point guard.
Mm-hmm.
They drafted Dante Exum, and instead of him saying, you know what, I'm not going to allow you to take my spot, he went into his feelings and crawled up like he cowered like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
He went to Washington, same thing. All of a sudden, we want that guy to be, the star point guard of this team. So why is it that we want to rescue someone else's garbage, but we won't be able to, give our own player that we drafted that respect? I didn't see Frank getting upset and going into his feelings. He's like, all right, no problem. I'm gonna still go and work hard, come to work, play defense every single day. No matter what goes on with the Knicks, he gives me the same thing every day. I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Moutier. When Harris got drafted, he didn't fight for that spot. He just allowed him to take it. These are the kind of guys you want, mentally tough guys. Frank's that kind of guy. Now, if you give him the season and he's still showing you a little, something you don't like to see, then you may want to think about it. But I'm definitely not going to give up on a guy going into his second year, especially when last year he didn't get a great opportunity with all that nonsense that was going on, getting 15, 20 minutes a night. 1 minute he's starting, next minute he's not starting. Next thing you know, they trade him for like 2-3 plays. Come on, that's not right. There's no one that would be able to function in that kind of environment.
You're right.
You kind of just hope that Fizz has that impact that he had on Connolly. And if that happens, we'll see. Because if Fizz is able to get to Frank, everyone's going to love Frank. And I'll make you a promise.
All right.
When Frank starts, I'll send you a nice super chat. I promise.
All right. I'm with that. Oh, you know what? Instead of a super chat, you could just donate it to the camp.
I will definitely do that. Definitely do that because I know you've been a Frank fan from day one.
Yeah, big Frank fan. Hey, I thank you for the call, and I definitely need you to call more often.
Yeah, you remember me, right?
Yes, I do.
One of your only female callers.
Yeah.
It's hard. You know what though? It's hard to get through these days, man.
I know, man. I know.
You got man. Listen. But I'll try to. It's kind of hard because I get up early in the morning and stuff like that.
I get it. Yeah,
I'll definitely. I really enjoy the chat. I love. I actually listened to the All Sports podcast you had, and I enjoyed it because it shows that your versatility in sports on a whole.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm a Jets fan, so it was good to hear a little bit of take and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
All right,
have a good night to everybody.
Have a good one. Great call.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, we need more callers like her to call in. That was a great call. And she knew her stuff. Half the people that call or even come in the video chat don't know their stuff. Some people just speaking on emotions. You know what I'm saying? I know Rube wants to get in because she mentioned Ruben. So I'm going to let Ruben get in right quick because I know he wants to. You got the line, bro. You got the line.
All right. Yo, listen, hold on, chat. Please give me a second, y'all. Please, chat, give me a second.
Give him a second.
Talk with y'all talking. Give me a second. Guillermo, right there. Give me 1 second. Check this out. I wish I knew her name. Whatever her name is, I remember her name too. I mean, her voice too. That was a very good point. I want to be clear real quick because I want you to get on other people. So that way I can make my final take on Frank later. But what I want to say in response to her is she's right. We definitely need to invest in our. Hold on, y'all. I can't hear me. I definitely want to invest in my young players. And I totally agree. People in the chat killing me. You know what I mean? I love it. I love to read what y'all saying about me in the chat. Thank you. But the thing is, what she said was important. We have to develop our young players. I personally think when I look at all the point guards in the league, every one of them, Frank's defense is up there with anybody's. His wingspan and his potential on defense is really, to me, A1, literally. But I just don't feel like he's a transcendent player, and I feel like that's what we need at point guard to play with KD. Not that I hate Frank. And my big thing, I'm going to end it with this because I know you want to move on. Just let me end it with this, is that I know for a fact that nobody on our team has more value with the contract than Frank. And if it takes us to move Frank to get $18 million off for Tim Hardaway, not for the Lee one, the $12 million, I'll keep the Lee thing because they got to be valuable later. But to get Noah off, I'm sorry, I would trade Frank with Noah just to get the money clear. And anybody don't agree with me, I understand. That's a fair argument to not agree with me. But all I'm saying is that's the only reason I would trade Frank. Not because I want him on my team. I personally think he could start for us next year and be the second or third best player on our team, personally. But I don't think that that's going to take us to the next level. And I don't necessarily believe in people like Kyrie Irving that much to give them long-term contracts. But that's the player I need. That's the type of player I need. That's all I'm saying. So whatever that caller is that called, thank you so much for what you said because I agree with you, except for the fact of I would trade Frank, Noah, for it. They can give me this. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? To get Noah off, I'll take it.
I wouldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I think that's short-sighted. You know what I'm saying? I think it's kind of short-sighted to trade someone that you think is an asset just to get rid of one of your big contracts. I think you let that contract ride out because if Frank has the ability to be one of our starting guards and hopefully be a starter for years to come, you're going to trade a starter for years to come to get someone off your books that's going to be off in 2 years anyway. You know what I'm saying? I think you just got to look a little bit longer term, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But I know we want to talk about point guard stuff, so we're going to get into it right now. We're going to get in and talk about these point guards. All right, so what I did is, and I didn't go super deep into the stats, but I grabbed a couple of surface stats for us to look at when we're talking about these players and what they bring to the team, the effect that they have on the team. Now, these stats, of course, is some people only have a certain number of games that have been played. Obviously, KP went out at a certain point. And you're playing with a different team. Anytime you add one player, two players, your team changes. You can have 14 of the same players. You add one, you have a different team because that person brings a different dynamic, brings something different to the chemistry and all those things. All right, so this is based on last year. These are the only stats that we have to go by. All right. And, I'll be able to bring some more stuff up from Basketball Reference, but we can only go by what we've seen and what we witnessed last year. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's start with Trey Burke. I'm going to bring up Trey Burke. All right. We're just going to take a look at his stats. Trey Burke, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Last year, Trey Burke averaged 12.8 points per game. 4.7 assists, 2 rebounds a game. He shot 50% from the field. From 3, he shot 36.2% from 3. Free throw percentage 65%. We definitely would need him to bring his free throw percentage up. But his effective field goal percentage is 55.2%. For those who may not know, the effective field goal percentage is your percentage from the field, your percentage from three, and then your percentage from the free throw line averaged out. So that's your effective field goal percentage. But this is what I want you guys to look at. All right. I did a little comparison with on court, off court. Okay. When Trey Burke is on the court, the Knicks score 112.7 points per game when he's on the court, or at that rate. Okay. The opposing team is at an offensive rating of 117.9 points per game when Trey Burke is on the floor. So when Trey Burke is on the floor, the opposing team outscores us by 5.2 points. When Trey Burke is off the floor, clearly because of his offensive efficiency, the team's offensive rating drops by 6.7 points. The offensive rating is 106. But on the other hand, the opponent's offensive rating also drops to 109.5. Right? So when you look at it, when you're looking at these stats that you're seeing right now, when Trey Burke is on the floor, teams score 5.2 points more than us. When Trey Burke is off the floor, teams score 3.5 points more than us. All right? I mean, clearly we're a losing team, so teams are scoring more points than us regardless. But that's a big difference. When Trey Burke is off the floor, teams are, I guess, 8 points worse, somewhere around there. That's Trey Burke, his on the floor, off the floor numbers. Now let's take a look at Frank Ntilikina, and let me fix this up a little bit for you. Frank Ntilikina, his numbers. Frank Ntilikina is 6'5", 190 pounds. All right. 6'5", 190 pounds. He averages 5.9 points per game, 3.2 assists per game, 2.3 rebounds per game. His field goal percentage, clearly low, 36% from the field. His 3-point percentage, low. We know this, 31.8% from the field. His free throw percentage, 72%. His effective field goal percentage, 41.4% from the field. Right? But when we're talking about Frank, are these the things that you want to look at? We know that Frank struggled last year offensively. But are these the things that we want to see, that we want to talk about when we're talking about Frank? Because I don't know. In my opinion, we're not asking Frank to score is not what we want to do. That's not what it is. At least not right now. But on the court, the team's offensive rating is 105. Opposing team's offensive rating is 107.7. Okay, so teams are still outscoring the Knicks by 2.7 points when Frank is on the floor. Off the court, the team's offensive rating is 109.1. The opponent's offensive rating is 113.8. So teams are outscoring the Knicks by 4.7 points per game when Frank is off the floor. All right, so clearly you can see Frank has a defensive presence when he's on the floor. Okay, that's clear. All right, and we're gonna come back to these numbers, but we're just looking at this right now. We're gonna come back to these numbers. All right, now let's look at Ron Baker. And surprising enough, Ron Baker just may surprise some people. I know a lot of people say that Ron Baker is going to be the odd guy out. Ron Baker is the one who is, doesn't belong on the team. Most of that is due to his contract, right? Looking at these numbers, though, let's not be so quick to say that he's just an automatic out. Ron Baker, I think he's a guy that Fizdale just may like. He works hard. He's got a great work ethic. He's somebody that Fizdale may say, you know what, I want this guy on my team, because of those things, because he exemplifies the type of things that Fizdale is saying he wants the team and the organization to represent. So that's something that we should think about. Obviously, that contract wasn't warranted, but it's nothing you can do about that now. But when you're looking at the numbers, Ron Baker, 2.4 points per game, 1.6 assists per game, 1.1 rebound a game, doesn't jump out at you. Field goal percentage, 34%. Field goal percentage from three, 33.3%. Free throw percentage, 77%. Effective field goal percentage, 43.2%. Now, here's where your eyes may jump up a little bit. On the court, when Ron Baker was on the court, the team averaged 110.8 points per game. The opponent averaged 107.7. The only player in this group who, when he was on the floor, the opponent scored less points than we did, than the Knicks did. The only player in this group, when he was off the floor, we averaged 107 points per game. The opponent averaged 111.5 points per game. The only player, Ron Baker is the only player in this group, these 4 point guards, who, when they're on the court, the Knicks average more points. The Knicks' offensive rating, was higher than the opponent's offensive rating. And when he was off the floor, the Knicks' offensive rating was lower than the opponent's offensive rating. The only player. I see people say fake news and all this kind of stuff. I'm just giving you statistics. I'm just giving you stats. You take from it what you will. I'm giving you stats. You know what I'm saying? Does it mean that Ron Baker is going to be the starting point guard? That's not what I'm saying. Right? I'm just giving you something to look at, to not be so quick in saying that Ron Baker is automatically out of here, because it may not be the case. When you look at that, that means something. Now, let's put it in perspective. Ron Baker played, I think, 29 games, so it was limited. And he was also playing while KP was playing. All right, so we do need to put that into perspective. He didn't play when KP was down, Ron Baker was down. He wasn't playing during that time, so his numbers, it could have changed significantly. Right? Now, let's take a look at Moutier. Emmanuel Moutier, 6'5", 190 pounds. Averaged 8.6 points per game, 3.4 assists, 2.4 rebounds. Field goal percentage, 38%. From three, 31.8%. Free throw percentage, 76%. Effective field goal percentage, 43.3. Moutier is in the same boat with Trey Burke. When he's on the court, the team's offensive rating is 102.9. The opponent's offensive rating is 117. When Moutier is off the floor, the team's offensive rating is 108. So the team's offense gets better with Moutier off the floor. And then the team's defense gets better when Moutier is off the floor. What does that tell you about Moutier? Right? Off the court, the team's offensive rating is 108. The opponent's offensive rating is 110.3. We get better in both aspects. We get better in both aspects when Moutier is off the floor. That doesn't bode well for Moutier, right? So now, you know, when you look at it now, you know, some people say, you know, Ron Baker is definitely the one that's going to be gone. Well, at least by these on-court, off-court stats, Baker was better for the team than Moutier. And I tell you what, Baker would keep the ball moving, even though he's not a natural point guard. He kept the ball moving. He didn't try to do things that maybe he couldn't do. And does Moutier do that? I don't know. But he's smart. I'll say that about Ron Baker. Ron Baker was smart. Made the right decisions with the ball. Made the pass to the right people, to the right person. Was he worth $4 million? Maybe not. Probably not. Nah, not probably. No, he's not. But the stats are the stats. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at it side by side. We'll look at everybody side by side. Okay? Look at it side by side. Burke, when you talk about on the court, Trey Burke, when Burke is on the court, the team averages 112.7. Offensive rating of 112.7. Makes sense. Frank is 105. Ron Baker, 110.8. Moutier, 102.9. The lowest of everyone, Emmanuel Moutier. The opponent's offensive rating, and now you're seeing the comparison now. When Burke is on the floor, it's 117.9. That's the worst. A lot of that is due to his size, which is something that we continue to argue about. Some people don't believe the size means anything. I do. Frank, the team's offensive rating, opponent's offensive rating, 107.7. We went through this already, but now you can see it side by side. Right? You can see it side by side, and you can see who's really hurting the team. Based on this here, Ron Baker and Frank help the team the most when they're on the floor. You know, based on on-court, off-court, Ron Baker and Frank. Take from it what you will. These are the stats. You know, these are the stats. And I know some people say, well, the Knicks score 112.7 points per game when Trey Burke is on the floor, but they also give up 117.9 points per game. So, and you're still losing because it's 5.2 points more. The opponents are scoring 5.2 points more than the Knicks. When Frank is on the floor, at least when Frank is on the floor, the opponents are only scoring 2.7 points more than the Knicks. Right? And of course, when Ron Baker is on the floor, the Knicks score more than the Knicks. Take from it what you will, but these are the stats, folks. These are the stats. Caesar, you said Ron can't shoot. That's true. That's true. He's not that great of a shooter. If you go back to Ron Baker's stats, you know, he shot 33% from three, 34% from the field. You know, he wasn't that great of a shooter. But there's other things to the offense besides just shooting. Getting the ball to the right person, accurate passes. Also playing ball on playing defense. You know, now, yes, he played with KP. You know, so that makes a difference. All right, that makes a difference. Let me see. I don't know if anyone in the chat even paid attention to this whole point guard breakdown. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I can even ask the chat about what they just seen on the screen. But I'm gonna check it out anyway and see what they got to say. All right, I'm gonna start with Big Freezy. See what Big Freezy has to say. Big Freezy, I'm on you, man, and everyone. Can we get you guys to quiet down a little bit so Big Freezy can speak a little bit? Freezy, man, what's going on? Can you hear me? I don't know if Big Freezy can hear me. Look like.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Oh, there we go.
Here.
All right. So did you get a chance? I know the chat is going and everything. Did you get a chance to see what was just in the what we just had up?
Yeah. Hey yo, let me talk to Sim right quick. Hey Sim, I didn't hear what you said last, man. I'm sorry.
I said, did you get a chance to see the stats that I had up?
For Moutier.
For Moutier, for all of them. I brought up stats for each one of the contending point guards.
Right.
Did you get a chance to look?
No. What I'm saying is I saw Moutier. I didn't see anybody else. Is what I was saying. But so here's my thing. Here's my thing, man. First, I like. Yo, hold on, y'all. So I like the fact that we have these young guys who we can compare to each other to let them fight it out to see what we have on offense. The thing though is I don't know if I agree with the whole premise of who's going to start at point guard when Fizdale said he was going to run a positionless offense, which I think is going to probably look something similar to what Mike D'Antoni ran when he was in New York, just at a slower pace, where a lot of guys touching the ball and spreading the ball and such and creating mismatches on the fly.
Okay. But would you agree that somebody at some point at least has to be the lead?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm hoping that it'll be Frank, just because at Frank's age, all he can do from this point forward is soak up experience with a coach that's looking to mold the team in a way that we're used to seeing New York Knicks teams play, unselfish on offense and dogged on defense. And if he can mold Frank into that, then I'm all for it.
Okay. If you get a chance, I don't know if you're able to look at the screen. If you get a chance, take a look at the screen. I have up each one of the players' on-court, off-court offensive ratings for the team and for the opponents.
Right. And I didn't get a chance to see that, but look, can I ask you something though? So what's the deal with Joe Budden's and the comments that he made about, man, these dudes keep talking in it. These just keep talking all of them in the chat, man. I'm sorry, but what's the deal with the comments with Joe Budden's? I only got a chance to hear a piece of it.
Oh yeah, he just he said he had a conversation with Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler was he didn't really go into specifics. He just said he was talking about a lot of things with the Knicks.
I'm not a real big fan of Jimmy Butler coming to New York, man. I just prefer that the team just grow organically. I think if you force feed different parts, I don't think it'll work. I've never seen a whole bunch of free agents go to one place and have it work without the core piece or two being from that city already. This whole thing with Jimmy Butler and Joe Budden, man, I'm not a big fan of that. I think it's just talk anyway.
Yeah, it could be. It could just be talk. All right, well, let me see. Let me see if Ron. I'm gonna get with Ron.
Ron got a lot to say, man.
Hey, Ron, man, did you get a chance to see anything that we threw up on the screen?
No, I'm in the chat with the fellas, man. We sitting there chopping it up, having different topics of debate. And,
okay.
Always the elephant in the room seems to be Frank. Discussion about Frank. You know what? This new age of basketball is really no, it ain't down to you, Rube.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll let you guys go. We're gonna get to a couple callers, see what these callers say. Caller, you're on live with nothing but Knicks. What's popping? Hello?
Yeah, you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me? I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Yeah, so what do you think about this point guard battle? What do you think about, the information we threw up on the screen about, with Trey Burke, Frank, Baker, Moutier, as far as their stats are concerned?
Oh, I didn't see the stats.
All right. Well, we're talking about we're talking about this point guard battle, right? And when you look at the numbers, when you compare those who are on the court, when players are on the court and off the court, we looked at the offensive rating of the team and the offensive rating of the opponent when players are on the court and off the court. And based on what we've seen, Ron Baker was the only player who, when he was on the court, the Knicks outscored the opposing team. When he was off the floor, the opposing team outscored us.
Well,
Frank was next in line, then Trey Burke, then Moutier.
Okay. Well, Ron Baker, he only played on the floor. That I remember. Really and truly, I want him to leave too.
You want what?
I want Ron Baker to leave. And,
you want him to leave?
Yes. I just want him to leave and Noah.
Why do you want Ron Baker to leave?
Really, truly, I play video games, NBA Live, whatever. I know it's a video game, whatever, but I don't know. He's putting too much room.
Dude, but that's a video game, though, bro. I mean,
I know it is. But I mean, it's kind of realistic in the game almost. It's just he's not all that. And when I see him in reality when he plays, he's not all that either. He's like I don't know.
All right, I don't know, man.
He's just extra. He's just extra to me. We need something else. He just too extra on the team.
I'm glad you're not the GM of the Knicks, man. Because if you were basing all your moves on the video game, we might be in trouble.
Oh no! Video games does help. It do help, and we don't know.
Okay.
It do. It really, truly do. I remember when I was playing Hardaway, Hardaway in the Knicks. Like, what was it? 2016. He was good on the game, and he's good now.
Okay.
So,
all right, man.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, I'm gonna let you rock, man. I'm gonna let you rock because it's getting late, and I'm about to get off. But I appreciate the call, bro.
All right.
All right, peace, man. Hey, man. I'm so glad my man that just called is not the GM because he was making moves based on NBA Live or 2K. We could be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That's funny business. Good call though. That's funny business. It is what it is. Everybody got their own thing, man. Everybody's got their own thing. I'm gonna take one more call right here, and then I think I'm gonna head off for the night. You're on Live with Nothing But Knicks. Who I'm speaking with?
What up, Sam? This is Reg from Brooklyn again. Normally I ain't a two-caller night, but I had to get back on the point guard stuff, man.
Okay.
To me, is this: if Moutier could do what Baker could do, I don't think Burke is on this team. If you remember, they went for Burke after Baker got hurt because he ran a Cable elbow in that dumb play.
Okay.
If I see something Baker, I said in the beginning when Dotson was like kind of shaky during the summer league, if Dotson ain't careful, before they added the extra players, I was thinking Dotson might have got cut for Baker. Baker can't shoot, but he does everything else. His handle's not that bad. He cuts and gets to the lane. He plays D. He plays the pick and roll well. If Moutier could do what Baker can do, I don't think Burke is on this team. But Moutier can't do what Baker can do because Moutier don't play D. He don't finish. He don't have a three. He don't have a shot. The only thing Baker don't have is a jump shot. He was trying to learn it a little bit last year. But that's the only thing he don't do good. He got a little handle crossover. I see him sometimes trying to cross people and get into the lane. He plays D. He hustles. He gets a rebound. He's that third guard. That's what he is. On the backup team, he's that third guard. Peter King is our first point guard.
Now you gotta see who's gonna come off the bench as the third guard.
Who's the third? Oh, you said Ntilikina. You said Ntilikina. You said Ntilikina is the third guard.
Right.
Behind who?
The team right now is Moutier or Baker. Who's gonna be on the team?
Hold on. You said Ntilikina is the third guard behind who?
No, Ntilikina is the first guard.
Oh, first guard. Okay.
But Moutier and Baker is fighting for that last spot at the guard position.
Yeah. Well, okay. Probably so.
And to me, Baker does more than Moutier do. Baker plays better D. Baker, if he gets to the rim, he can finish better than Moutier. They both can't shoot a jump shot. So unless Moutier improves some of that position, he's off the team. If Moutier does the same thing as Baker does, I guarantee you Fizz is going to let Burke go. Fizz is going to trade Burke. If Moutier does the same thing that Baker does, defense, cut to the rim and finish, play good defense, shaky jump shot, Burke is gone.
Okay.
But Moutier ain't doing that.
Yeah.
That's why Burke is here.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. All right. I mean, make some good points, Burke. Make some good points. Burke.
I had to jump on that one because everybody keep hating on Baker, and I'm glad you put that point up because Baker's defense and Baker's cutting ability. Baker does the other little things that people don't see because he got knocked in the head by KO trying to get a rebound and they bump ahead of each other and make them look stupid like the butt fumble.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey man, I thank you for calling back. All right, but I'm gonna I'm gonna try to keep it going so we can get some other people because I know people like, oh, he called again, huh?
Keep it up with the chat. I'm gonna keep up with the chat. I ain't calling no more. I just had to get that one.
All right. All right, peace. Later.
All right.
And Anthony Dunbar, man, he said my bucket is too tight. I seen you in the chat. Said my bucket is too tight. It's because I got the headphones over, man. I mean, ain't nothing else I could do. Nothing else I could do. I want to give a couple of shout outs here. Let me see. I want to give a shout out to Uptown Swan. Said, Sim, if you had to start your franchise with either Frank or Lonzo, who am I taking? That's a good one, but I'm going with Frank. I'm going with Frank. Lonzo could play defense too, but I'm going with Frank. I'm sticking with the hometown dude. Elijah Moon said, thanks to the lads in the appearing chat. Said he nearly got in, but he missed it. Said, Sim, thank you for inspiring. I finally got my degree in youth work. Your streams have helped many of us. Peace. Elijah, congratulations, man. And, put that to work for real. You know what I mean? Put that degree to work and help out some of our kids, man. And yeah, good job. Congratulations. Correct defense. Thank you for the super chat. You said Frank and Trey need to start. Tim Hardaway Jr. got to go. Well, a lot of people agree with you. I think I'm one of them. I don't know about Frank and Trey starting, but I think I'm one of them about Tim Hardaway Jr. But I'm willing to give him the year. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to give it to him. Then correct defense again said, whoa, Burke has not played with KP. Numbers can lie. You're right about that. Trey Burke has not played with KP. So offensively, maybe he even looks a little bit better offensively. Does it change? Does it change? I guess it does maybe change the numbers when he's on the floor, when he's, the opponent's offensive rating when he's on the floor. If he's playing with KP, that could change the numbers. Like I said, these are the numbers, these are the stats that we have. The only thing that we can go by, and obviously it would be a little bit different if KP was around. Then we get to see what Trey Burke, we get to see what that really looks like. So yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. I'll give you that there. You're right. But listen, guys, we're coming down to the end. We've been on for, a little more than 2 hours. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been on for 2.5 hours. Still got 300 people on, so I appreciate you guys for staying on with me. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let these guys in the chat get their last bucket. Get their last saying. I'm going to give them 30 seconds to get their last saying. Then we're gonna head off from here. All right, so guys in the chat, I need you guys to listen up. We about to head off for the night, so I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to get your last piece in. You know what I'm saying? 30 seconds each to get your last piece in, and then we're gonna head off for the night. All right. So let me see. I'm gonna start with Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg, I'm gonna start with you. All right. And Nate Dogg.
I'm not advocating.
Hey, Nate Dogg.
I'm not advocating.
Hey, Nate Dogg. I'm starting with you. Everybody gonna get their last piece in for the night. All right.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on live, man.
Or y'all waiting for me to say something?
You're on live. Tell everybody to quiet down so that we can finish up. So we can finish this off. All right.
Sim, you there?
So you can hear. I'm right here.
There?
I'm waiting for you.
Sorry, man. How you doing, man?
Yeah. I'm gonna let you get your last word in for the night.
Oh man.
For the group, got 30 seconds.
No, man. I mean, we're just having a good debate here in the chat. Everybody's taking their time and listening to everybody's point. We're not going too crazy.
Okay, that's good.
Just kind of you guys talked about the point guard debate. Fizdale said he wants them all to compete. Hey, I'm all for it, man. A competition only makes players better. And you know what? Put them all together and let's see who comes out, at the top. I mean, I think it's going to be Frank, but I'm just saying, competition, is not a bad thing. And, let them all duke it out. I think Fizdale's making it right because the point guard's the most important position on the court. I mean, they're the quarterback of the team and they're the first line of defense, and, Frank has got the head start. I mean, it's just his job not to lose it, and I think, the Knicks are doing the right thing by letting them duke it out and develop these players and let them run. I mean, when was the last time that Knicks players develop players? I mean, we always go for those home run hits and then strike out, so hey, let's say what we have and let's continue the process, man, and we'll be all right.
I'm with you. All right, man. I'm gonna let you go for the night. I'm gonna let you go. All right. And let me see. We're gonna get to who hasn't spoken in a while. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get to Guillermo. Guillermo, what's going on? I'm gonna let you get your last word in for the night. Got 30 seconds.
Yeah. I'll be really quick, man. This is what I want to say, man. With anybody who's doubting Frank, man, we've been saying this in the chat, man. Yo, believe in the kid, man. The kid plays great defense. Like I said, man, just because he's averaging 8, you got to take into account how many points he's taking away from the other team, man. You add that to his average and the fact that he's going to get other guys high percentage points on fast breaks and whatnot, you got to give the kid a chance, man. I watch all these stupid shows with the Nick Wrights and all these clowns. I read Bleach Report, and none of these guys break down the fact that Frank Ntilikina was number 1, I believe, as a rookie in pick and roll defense. And you're talking about in a league where they're getting the point guards to basically dominate the ball flow. So
one second, Guillermo. Hey, let's go. Let me keep you on hold for 1 minute. All right. For a little bit, we're gonna let these guys do what they're doing in chat, and then I'm gonna let you get in there. All right.
Okay, I get you.
All right, but you can listen in. Though. I'm gonna keep it open so you can listen in. All right, Guillermo, my bad.
This is my very last comment. Very last comment. I think with the Joakim Noah thing, it's a little dark, man. I think all these sports, especially football, they got to do a better job of checking the mental illness of some of these players, man, because you got a lot of guys who they're not mentally well, man. You're talking about a guy that went from a championship team with the Florida Gators to a guy who's taking PEDs and getting hurt and losing confidence, man. So, I hate watching the Lamar Odoms and all those players, man. I understand, we joke about it here and whatnot, but, I hope that brother gets some help. We do need to let go of him, but, I hope these sports do a better job, or some of his friends, so-called friends, whatever, do a better job of checking on his mental health, because he right now, I think he's in a dark place. And, I don't know if it's drugs or whatever, but yeah, he definitely needs some help. Him, the Alden Smiths, all these guys in football, wherever it may be, man. So thanks for taking my call, man. Peace to the chat.
Appreciate
peace to
you, man.
Room, man. See y'all next time, man.
All
Peace.
Right. Peace. All right, let's see. We're going to get to Rafi.
Yo.
Got 30 seconds, bro.
I'll just keep it quick. I'm just going to say Frank is our future. Don't sleep on him. I know Ruben was saying he would package a deal with Noah. But Noah's only going to be here for 2 years. Frank's going to be with us for 10 years. He's the one that's going to keep our defense intact in terms of guard play. And then if we're comparing all of the guards right now, if all of them are having an off shooting night, what else do they bring? At least we know that Ntilikina can give us defense, and then also he can get our players into the right position in terms of offense. What's Moody going to do? What's going to do? What's Ron Baker? Ron Baker shouldn't even be on that list, to be honest. We're being serious there, because he's just straight garbage. All he does is bring. We're being deadly serious. Come on now. So,
I don't know. Listen. The one thing I say, Ron Baker doesn't deserve $4 million a year, but he hustles and he works. He's a gritty dude. He's a gritty dude.
What else does he do? Come on now.
But sometimes you need that grit.
What, from someone called Ron Baker? Like, this guy's not.
You said from somebody called Ron. All right, man.
Yeah, that's it. All I'm saying is Frank's the guy, and then when Kyrie comes, because I'm telling you, Kyrie's coming, at least we could put Ntilikina at the 2, and then he can cover up for the lack of defense that Kyrie brings us. Okay. So that's it, Ricky.
All right. Appreciate it, Rafi. Always appreciate you, whatever it is, early in the morning over there for you or whatever. I always appreciate it, man. Peace. Peace. Cool. Let's see who we gonna get with. Rue, I got you next, man. I don't know what happened to Who's Mark. Ruben, you on, bro?
What's going on, Sim? So, I just want to say shout out to the chat. I'm mad I have it's like so much that I want to reply to. You give me 30 seconds. I wanted to talk about the cap space thing. Tony called in and I wanted to reply some of the stuff that he said. So if you could open up the chat for us a little while after the joint, then just so I could throw that with Breezy and Tony and them. But let me just give you my little take that I told you I wanted to drop on Frank. And anybody want to hate on me like they've been doing in the chat after this, it is what it is. My thing is that when I look at Frank Ntilikina, I say some names, some people that I watched last year, like Zach Collins, Malik Monk, and Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo. We could have had all of them. I don't care what nobody say. To me, they're better than Frank Ntilikina. Let's just take the best position available. What about we could have had Frank with other people, like Justin Jackson, Frank and Harry Giles, Frank and John Collins, Frank and Jared Allen, Kyle Kuzma. We could have had all those players with Frank. All we had to do was accept that call from Portland, who gave up the 15 and the 20. Nobody wanted Frank past the 20th pick. So we could have had Frank and other people. Now, if y'all want to throw shade at me and say Frank is better than them players, and that's a debate that we can have, but I take OG Anunoby. I take Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart right now by what I've seen last year and what I've seen even through the Super League Pass, which I don't believe, Summer League, which I don't believe in that much. I'm sorry, when I really look back at it, and it's just my last thing, if y'all go back like I've been doing and look up some of the redrafts that all of the experts do after the year, Frank Ntilikina is not even in the first round. So for some of them, others he in the late 20s. So I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, then the experts are too. And I'm sorry that I do my eye test. I like Frank. And again, I think that and be our starting point guard. I just, like I told Breezy and Nate, I don't think he's transcendent. That's all I'm saying. And I think with KP, we need a transcendent point guard. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So I end my chat with that. Destroy me in the joint. Like the chat, subscribe. I love y'all, bro. I love this, man. Yo, do this, man. Open up the chat after this, man. Ron, it's good to talk with you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Ruben, do me a favor. If you can go do a comment on the video or hit me up on Twitter, whatever. However, give me your email address.
Yeah, you know what? I want to talk to you about something else too, bro. I'll do that.
All right, cool.
Definitely about that camp. I got to talk to you about that camp, bro. I saw you earlier on the chat. So yeah. I like that, man. I really, really like that. And I got something I can probably help with.
All right, cool. All right, later. All right, Big Freezy.
Yo.
It's on you, bro.
Hey, so for these 30 seconds, man, I just want to run through something real quick, man. Hey, peace and love to everybody. I ain't even talking Knicks no more, man. After the video today with the kids, man, that was like number one for me, man. Shout out to Sam for making an impact in the community. Whether you get your goals down for good things you do, or whether you still made a positive impact on futures and have something to talk about later on down the road. That's all I got.
I appreciate that. I got the gist of what you're saying. It was kind of breaking up, but I got the gist of what you're saying, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. No doubt. No doubt, man. That's all I got.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
Ron, you on, bro?
Man. Sim, hey, man, it's been a good night, man. This is what I got to say about that point guard position, man.
Uh-huh.
You know how I feel about Frank and how I feel about a point guard in general. Point guard is your main extension of the coach. Your point guard sets everything up. And the thing about Frank that people fail to realize, man, is the guy defense is elite. And when I say elite, people look at what's the bottom line numbers per game on a stat line to see how to gauge a person so far as a defensive point guard. And they say, well, he got these many steals. But it's not just steals. The fact that the stress that Frank he puts on the opposing team's offense, look, and I want people to really watch this season how long it takes teams to get in their offense. That causes stress. Now you gotta work against the shot clock, and you gotta work against Frank. So you're being basically guarded by your mind and being guarded physically. So it's really a problem when you got a point guard like that. Frank is our future. Frank is the modern day Gary Payton, and you can take that to the bank, and he will be the most improved player this year, and you can book that.
All right. I appreciate it, man. Mike, I'm gonna get you in now. I don't know, you've been popping in and out. I don't know what you've been doing, man.
This dumbass computer, man. But anyway, listen, man. If we start Trey Burke, we tanking, right? We gonna straight into tanking mode. I'm just letting y'all know that because he's not gonna be able to guard a lick. He's not gonna be able to guard point guards. That's why I want Frank. Just start Frank in the fire. What are we wasting time for? What are we wasting time?
I'm with you. I agree with you 100%.
What is the point of throwing in Trey Burke with his empty stats instead of this young defensive guard that uses his fundamentals with defense that disrupts people's offense?
Hey, Mark, turn that down. I need you to turn that down in the back.
Oh, my bad. And force this guy to play the point guard. He has to get the minutes. Because if he don't get the minutes, he's not going to develop. Point, period, blank.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you.
Moutier had his chance. He had his chance. Don't want to hear him or don't want to see him. Can't wait till his contract is up. Because he think he gonna get paid.
All right. I got you, man. All right, Mark. I'm sure they're gonna jump in the chat after this, but I'm gonna get to Tony and then I got Esco on the line.
Oh, you got Esco?
Yeah, Esco's on the line about to talk to me a little bit. So yeah.
Wait, don't lock me up right here.
Yeah. I got you, man. I got you. Tony Crow, man, you on, baby? What's up? I think you got it on mute. Can't hear you. No, can't hear you. You might have to call. You might have to come back. I can't hear you. Esco, what's poppin', bro?
What up, buddy?
What's going on with you, man?
Man, what's going on, man?
Did you check out the show tonight?
Man, y'all done pissed me the hell off. Y'all done pissed me off, man.
Uh-oh. I'm in trouble,
man,
chat. I'm in trouble.
I done heard. Boy, all y'all some damn Trey Burke haters, man.
I just put the stats up. All I did is put up the stats.
Y'all some Burke haters, man. Oh my goodness, bro.
Did you see the stats?
And who was that? And who was that caller sounding like somebody was choking a damn cat? He said that she was gonna donate when Frank Ntilikina started.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You will never get it. Your ass will never get it. You will never get it. And who's Mark? And who's Mark gonna say? Why he's sitting over there looking like a damn baby poodle? He gonna say Trey Burke wasn't gonna average over 15 next year. That man got to have about 4 solid pieces over there sitting in front of his table. He got to be. Is you kidding me? Is you kidding me, Sam? He ain't gonna average over 15.
I mean, I agree. He will. I agree that he can average over 15 points a game.
Now, you. First of all, he gonna start. That's first of all. First of all, he gonna start. Second of all, I'm not gonna put it over the. I'm not gonna put it over the edge that he gonna average 20. I'm not gonna say that. Cause you know why I ain't gonna say that? Because you got that fool Hardaway gonna be taking all type of retarded shots, and Knott's gonna try to do his part. But that's why he ain't gonna average his 20. But you can sure bet he gonna average 18 to 19 a game next year. Probably more next year.
Trey Burke?
Don't start. Yes.
He's gonna average 18 to 19. How many assists?
Burke and you know why I won't say 20? Because Hardaway retarded ass. That's why I ain't gonna say 20. Because Hardaway, he gonna try to get his regardless. He gonna try to get his regardless of what. He gonna shoot to his damn. He gonna try to get his regardless. That's why I'm not gonna say 20.
So how many assists?
And another thing.
How many assists? How many assists?
How many assists?
Yeah.
I give him about I give Burke about 4 or 5 assists a game. Probably about 4 or 5 assists. I give him about 18 and 5, 18 and 6. I give him that.
We'll see.
And another thing, I don't know why your ass put Baker on the screen. Man, Baker is pure damn trash, and everybody knows it.
Well,
Baker
I'm gonna say this. His points and assists may not have looked better than Trey Burke, but when he was on the floor, the opposing team, the Knicks scored more points than the opposing team when he was on the floor. Take from it what you will. He's more gritty. He's more gritty than Trey Burke. He plays better defense than Trey Burke. He can't score.
Hey, no, he try to act like he a dog. He try to put his nose into everybody's business and play hard and hustle and I can give him that. But man,
I mean that's what you want, right?
Hey, I can't. Baker trash, man. He is pure. Okay. He's pure trash.
Okay.
I can't. He got to go. And let me say something to you, man. I know everybody been getting on you hard about Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, man. Look, man. Don't get me wrong. I like Porzingis. But when somebody, first of all, he too light in the ass. That's first of all. Second of all, come on, man. People need to, if they watch Knicks basketball or they watch Porzingis, they'll know this. When them boys put his little stick ass in the post, he ain't nothing. Porzingis is a weak side shot blocker, man. I love him, but it's part of his game. He got to get right now. They just can't bash you about Porzingis like that, because you do be saying some points about that man that he need to work on, man.
He
really do.
Hey, they just think I'm a KP hater. They just think I hate him.
No, No,
when
man.
it's not true.
Hey,
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan. I just want to see him do right.
Man. I can't say you a KP hater, man.
No.
Because you've been making some good points about Porzingis, man. You be making some good points. They just, I don't understand why they be on you about that.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm gonna keep making my points. And they can keep calling me a hater, but I'm gonna keep making my points.
Yeah, man. Plus when you said only thing he is a like he don't stand his ground. When you were saying that, man, I said, man, that man is correct.
He don't.
Porzingis is a weak side shot blocker.
Yep.
He not that type of defensive player gonna stand his ground. You know what I'm saying? And hold his own. He ain't that type right now, man. I'm not saying he can't get that and he can't get
Exactly. You're not saying he can't get there.
Yeah, I'm not saying he can't, because I love Porzingis. I love him. I love him, man. I be in here acting a fool when he was healthy and he was doing crazy. I love him. But it's parts of his game that he got to get stronger. He got to hold his own ground. Damn all that weak side shot blocking. We need to sometime to stand up like a man. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
You had a point off that. Now they can't hate on that now, man. And another thing, man. Come on, man. Moutier. I don't know what to say about that cat. That dude he got to go. He got to go, man. You can tell his game is, Moutier's game is just, he ain't it. Man, Moutier, he just go jump off a damn moving fast train and just jump off. That's what his ass needs to do. Just go on, get on the train, let it go. And when it's going, the fast it can go, just jump off. He got to get away from them damn Knicks, man. He ain't it, man. Yeah. I can't take Moutier, man. I tried when he first came. I tried, but I said I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do Moutier, man.
Yeah.
I want to say the other day, but I couldn't get to you. I want to say happy birthday, man, happy late birthday to the greatest Knick ever, man.
To the great. Yes, sir.
Greatest Knick ever.
Yes, sir.
That boy Patrick Ewing.
There it is. Hey, let's
man,
go.
Look, man, I was arguing with my partner the other day. He gonna tell me now. I'm gonna see I want your perspective out of this now.
All right, I'm gonna give you this, and then I gotta roll.
Okay, then I'm gonna let you roll. These fools gonna tell me that John Starks was the heart of the Knicks.
Was the heart?
Man, let me tell you something, man. That damn John Starks is pure damn trash. He is, man, you know what, man? That damn John Starks worse than Hardaway to me, man. I might get bashed, but I don't give a damn. That damn John Starks. That damn fool.
I mean, I like John Starks. I don't think he was the heart of the team, but I like John Starks. I liked him. I liked him.
These fools arguing me down.
Wow.
He was the heart of the Knicks. I couldn't take it.
Nah, he definitely wasn't the heart. He was not the heart of the team. He was not he was a warrior. He was a warrior, but he wasn't the heart.
Oh, yeah. Lord, man, hey, I don't know if these fools were trying to upset me. I don't understand, but I don't know what they were trying to do, man. But
I don't know, man.
Man, I act a fool.
I bet you did.
Starks is pretty damn trash. Only thing he did, man, John Starks is terrible. John Starks worse than Hardaway to me, man. I promise, man. Hardaway, man, I take Hardaway over Starks, dumbass. I promise.
All right.
That man, plus when he did that mess when we played Houston.
Yeah, let's not even talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it.
I don't even want to talk about this, man.
Hey, Esco, man, I'm going to let you go, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling in. I'm going to let you go because it's late. We've been on for like 3 hours, so I'm about to, go ahead and call it a night.
Yeah, I'm about to call it a night too, man.
Hey, I appreciate the call.
Colleen, that damn squealing ass sounding pig. I don't know what sound like somebody was choking a damn cat. What was that, a girl or a boy?
It was a lady, man. It was a lady. She was knowledgeable. She's very knowledgeable.
Oh, no, the hell.
She's knowledgeable.
How she gonna be knowledgeable and she gonna say she gonna donate something to you if Frank Ntilikina starts?
She's
you will never get it.
Well,
you will never get it.
She was very knowledgeable. That sounds like another one you might have to debate. You better be careful of her. She knows her stuff.
She ain't. Her and that damn wet poodle over there. Be on the screen. They don't want me to sit. That damn wet ass, that damn baby wet poodle over there, and that whatever she was, wheeling cat or what. They don't want to debate me.
All right,
hey. Talking about donating to you about some Frank gonna
That's
start
right.
when
That's
he
right.
start.
There it is. Hey, Esco.
You will never get it.
All right, we'll see. Esco, I'm gonna let you go, man. I'm gonna let you go. I gotta let you go.
All right,
I appreciate the call, man. As usual, appreciate the call.
Ain't no doubt, man. I'll hit you back some other time. Brother.
All right, man.
Okay,
all right, later. My man Esco always got the energy going. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and Esco, if you're still listening, I did show. You probably seen. I showed you New York Giants video. It was great. Everybody liked it. Anthony Dunbar. Go ahead and loosen up my bucket for you. There we go. Loosen it up a little bit. It's late. It's been a good show. I'm about to head off. We had some good topics to discuss. We discussed them. Did a good job. We didn't get to hear everything that was going on in the video chat, but that's cool. You know what I mean? I'm heading off for the night. Before I go, I would like to invite you all. You heard some people talk about, doing some of the volunteering with the basketball camps. I do plan to do some basketball camps next summer. And if anyone wants to volunteer, my email is in the chat right now. Okay? You can email me, let me know that you want to volunteer. Because basketball, is way more than just bouncing the ball on the court. Most kids, they're not going to make it to the NBA, right? They're not going to make money playing basketball. So for most people, it's a learning experience. And that's what we want to provide with these free camps. We'll do like 1 or 2 of them next year. That's the plan. But, we got to start planning early so we can get some things right. So hopefully we can get enough volunteers. I appreciate you all for, if you choose to volunteer, I appreciate you for jumping on with me. For volunteering, all those who, thank me or whatever, for working in the community. I appreciate you, and I'm going to continue to do it, and I hope other people can do it as well, because it is definitely important for a lot of our children to have leaders in the community to step up and fight for them, fight for their rights, fight for sometimes their survival. And sometimes you just being there, helping out with a free camp or spending some time, with a young man, a young lady that maybe needs a mentor is an escape for the life that they live and will help them to move on to the next day and achieve some of their goals. So hit me up in the chat. Send me send me an email. If you want to volunteer with some of these camps. You know what I mean? But other than that, I'm about to head out. If you haven't subbed the channel, please make sure you sub the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell, get a notification anytime that I go live. And we'll be back on, what's today? Tuesday? We'll be back on Thursday night. CK2K is going to be here with us Thursday night. That should be fun. Another announcement, you guys might have seen it. I'll be doing some spots on the X's and O's podcast with Tommy D. I'm looking forward to it, so be on the lookout for that. I'm going to continue to do the NBNY, Nothing But New York Sports, with the entertainer. We should have a new video coming out sometime this weekend. So pay attention to that. You guys are great, man. I love all you guys. Stay peaceful, and I'll see you guys Thursday night. Peace.